Pombo and Milliken. Summer Edition. Monday, 12 to 3. Talking baseball, basketball, and football with just a little soccer and MMA in the mix. WMLN 91.5, Milton, Boston.
All right, Pombo Milliken, we're back.
We are back.
Summer episode number 4, 5.
Can't be 5. Is it 4?
4 sounds better?
Yeah.
I think. All right, we'll rock with 4. Back-to-back weeks, too, so we're streaking out here. A lot has happened in the past week.
Yep.
The Raptors have come out and basically sunned the Warriors. I think that's the best.
Up 3-1 going into Game 5.
The Raptors are Papa. They're the child.
Yeah.
That's simple. But quick thought, we got Game 5 tonight going on. This could be the end of the Warriors dynasty coming to it all. But since we last talked, Game 3 or 4 hadn't been played.
Yes.
Game 3, Klay Thompson ends up not playing in it. Steph Curry goes out. 47 points he ended up scoring.
Like
quite a performance, a very solid game. KD also didn't play in that game. Overall, those decisions to see Klay and KD, we knew KD is injury a little different than Klay. Do you think Klay should have played in that game?
I think he probably should have gave his best shot too. You're in the NBA Finals. I understand you want to rest and heal and this stuff, but I think they took the Toronto Raptors lightly.
I did too.
They're sitting here down 3-1. Going back to Toronto, a place where they struggled early on in the finals. That crowd's going to be rocking.
They've turned their home court into one of the best in the NBA. Because no matter what, they got a country backing them there.
Yes.
It's not even the typical regular fan base you tend to see. And I think with Klay, it's hard to really go after him and give him blame. If Klay could have played, he would have played.
I think so.
He was fighting with the trainers to do it. You could see it on the sidelines. What stood out to me the most about Game 3 as it was that Klay Thompson was on that bench, cheering on his teammates, talking in the huddle constantly. Kevin Durant has not done that once. Since
Durant's been in the tunnel. I've seen him a couple times.
That's it.
He hasn't been on the bench yet.
And that, I don't know, that creates a very weird feeling for me. I think right now you see the difference. Klay standing on the bench, that's the difference between a teammate and someone who's on the team.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's on the team, Klay Thompson's a teammate.
Yeah, Klay Thompson, a guy who's going into free agency. A lot of people speculated how his future is going to be, but I don't think he's going anywhere.
Nope.
I think he's going to stay in Golden State for the long run. Him and Steph Curry's legacies are tied together. I think Thompson's going to play in Game 5 here, and I think he's going to have a great game. I think Durant's going to come back as well.
Klay played great in Game 4. He came out, he posted 28 points.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 of 18 shooting, with his hamstring injury too. He played 42 minutes on that hamstring.
He's been good. He's had a good finals.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Klay. This is the same dude who was playing with blood pouring out of his ear a couple years ago, With Kevin, no matter what, everything that was this season, all the struggles that have taken place, whether it was the talk about the free agency, the Draymond Green drama, it's all compartmentalized to this moment. It truly has. That's a big word.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a word.
18-point word.
It? Thank you. We're learning out here. I've been reading the thesaurus. But it's all come down to this moment. Still, the biggest hangover on this team is what is Kevin Durant's future, the injury he's playing with, and is what's more important to him, playing injured and helping the Warriors or saving his stock for the offseason.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole big question. I think his teammates know it. I think the coaches know it. I think the front office knows it. All eyes are going to be on Durant come June 30th, July 1st. Does he want to remain a Warrior? Does he want to play in New York? Does he want to play in Brooklyn? Does he want to play in LA? What does he want to do? Is he fully invested with this team? Does he want to win a championship here?
At this point, I can't say yes, because no matter what, injuries are injuries. If you can't play, and I truly believe, I don't even think he should be playing in this season.
Yeah, I think the injury is, I've said it from day one, this injury is a lot worse than people thought it was. I think it's an Achilles injury, not a calf injury.
What Chris Carter said the other day, saying it was a torn calf, he believed. You saw that?
Could have been. I think it's more Achilles.
I agree. You talked about it right, I think it was the day after it happened. The way his foot, he just couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
He was dragging.
He couldn't put a basketball shoe until last week.
Exactly. I just think the biggest miss here was on the Warriors medical staff and coaching staff.
Yeah.
Because Klay Thompson was willing to play and you said no because you didn't believe the Toronto Raptors were a good enough team.
Yeah. They took them lightly. It's just simple as that. They underestimated Kawhi Leonard's talents, Nick Nurse's coaching ability. They underestimated Van Fleet, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, the whole 9 yards.
Serge Ibaka playing his best game in Game 4 ever.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other biggest moment besides the Raptors going and taking that game was the Mark Stevens situation.
Yes. So he's
go ahead.
He's technically a part owner of the Warriors.
Minority owner.
He owns like 2% or something like that. So Kyle Lowry, I think it was in the third quarter or the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter around the 10-minute mark.
Yeah. So
we actually have audio if we want to go through with it. Let's go. We'll start with the actual clip of him going into the stands.
Okay.
To the front court in a 10-point game. Swatted away. Ibaka, Lowry the seats to save it. You back. This is what Kyle Lowry was talking about, that he was pushing. You see there that fan with the left arm pushing him. The lead official, Mark Davis, coming over to us. They said they did not see it. However, the NBA is looking at it. What happened? You see one of the...
Well, it's interesting, Matt. He's got a press pass, too. Yeah. He's got some kind of a...
That has to be one of the most coward moves I've ever seen.
Yeah, no one knew till probably the next day. Everyone just thought it was just a fan.
A fan or a media member because he had the press pass on.
I didn't really think much of it until you see that stuff kind of happen now, and especially in the NBA where the court side is literally like you.
Yeah.
We could sit in the front row and get trampled by anyone.
Who was it? Andre Drummond or Blake Griffin this year Joel Embiid jumped over a fan.
Yes, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think much of it going in.
But this situation as a whole, Mark Stevens Kyle Lowry dives in, makes a great play. Yep. Unfortunately, the ball goes off the ref, so it stays out of bounds.
Correct. Yeah. So nothing really.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he lands on another fan. The fan he landed on was helping him up, and then Mark Stevens reached over and pushed him and started swearing at him.
Yes.
Mark Stevens, listen, this guy is a billionaire. He's
not a billionaire, but he's
not a billionaire.
No, because he made. I was just looking at it. He made. I think he makes $180 million in profit a year. So he's not a billionaire. I think he's just a millionaire.
Okay. I had heard.
Let me look it up.
Look it up. Yeah. No matter what,
it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, Mark Stevens in this situation didn't think a camera was on him, and in all reality,
frustrated. His team's getting his butt kicked.
No matter what, in life, when the camera's not on you, that's when
net worth. He's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire, and this is a guy you can see the entitlement from his money. You immediately, and don't get me wrong, this guy may have worked his life to get his money. It doesn't mean anything. Congratulations, you have your money, you have your success.
What does he do?
What happened? He's a philanthropist, whatever that word is. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But ultimately, in this situation, he reached out. He pushed a player. This player was defenseless, just playing the game that you're an owner of the other team.
Yep.
And you feel the need to swear and push. This guy did not think he was on camera, and in life, that's when you see who a person really is. When a guy can think he can get away with something and no one will see it. Just pure entitlement. He's a joke. And the best part of this is, my favorite part is, no matter all his success amongst the regular media and amongst people, the first thing people are going to think of is this incident. That's what he'll be defined by. And hey man, have your success, have your life. You have all the money in the world. It probably doesn't mean anything to him.
Nobody knew who he was until now.
But now this is what he is, and he can hold this legacy.
That's kind of his legacy for now. Yeah,
enjoy it. Yeah. You're a joke. You're a wuss, a coward, a defenseless player for entertainment. Giving a game to a crowd, to a country that basketball has become a huge thing for them in Canada. America, we know how big basketball is here. Yeah. You're a jerk. You're just a low-life jerk.
So the NBA quickly acted, I think it was the day after. They banned him from all games for next year.
Yep, 1 year.
1 year, and fined him $500,000.
And yeah, I saw the situation. A lot of people were asking him to be fined more. You can't handle it that way.
$500,000 is a lot.
Yeah, no matter what. People are like, well, he's a billionaire. That means nothing. Listen, you can't treat people different based on how much is in their bank account.
I know a lot of people wanted $1 million.
You can't do that.
$500,000, I think that's sufficient.
And listen, I think he should have got a lifetime ban and moved out of the ownership group personally. But I understand.
He might get pushed out at some point.
I understand what Adam Silver did here. Because if he had come down with this huge ban, it would have overshadowed the entire finals.
Yes, 100%.
It would have completely taken over the headlines in this finals.
It might have already.
No, that's what I'm saying. At least for that day, it was way bigger than the Game 3 story afterwards.
Exactly.
I think right now, for where the finals are, the ratings are down. We all know it's being talked about. They don't need another issue. And Adam Silver, he didn't act emotionally.
No, Silver was good,
It is what it is. And he's a very player-pro leader.
No, you could argue the top 4 major sports, Silver's the best.
Exactly. Everyone really tends to like him. It's not a Roger Goodell situation.
The NFL tried to get him.
Yes. You can't ask for a better commissioner.
No.
It's just, this is the situation. Personally, I thought he deserved a ban, but I understand the approach.
Yeah, me too. So going forward now, that obviously took the whole shadow of Game 4. A lot of people are going to remember Game 4 of the NBA Finals from that moment.
Or Game 3.
Game 3, I'm sorry. But it really shouldn't, because it overshadowed the great performance of the Golden State Warriors. I mean, of the Toronto Raptors.
Real quick, let's just get Kyle Lowry's reaction to the entire situation.
What happened when you got into the crowd and it looked like a dude grabbed you? Like, obviously you took offense. Was it what was said, or what? Like, what happened there? Help me understand.
Well, if you watch it, he reached over and put his hands on me for no reason.
Right.
Then he said a couple, some vulgar words to me and repeated them repeatedly. But, in our league, there's no place for that. Honestly, I hope he's never allowed to come to an NBA game because he shouldn't have did that. There is no place for that, and luckily, they threw him out. I talked to the league's security already, and explained myself. And I don't really, the fans have a place. We love our fans, but fans like that, they shouldn't be allowed to be in there because it's not right. And I can't do nothing to protect myself. But the league does a good job, and hopefully they ban him from all NBA games ever.
Yeah, I think Kyle Lowry put it perfectly there. When this situation did happen, Lowry just checked him. He said, "What's good?" You know what I mean?
I don't think he probably knew who he was.
No, he didn't. He thought he was just a regular
knew
fan.
Who he was. Again, he's not a majority owner. He's just a guy.
And one of the worst part of this whole entire thing, Kyle Lowry's known as a very nice guy. He's had some moments in his career when the media has really killed him. And no matter what, he's never faltered on that. Back to the game, the Magic game opener against the Magic this year, went out and completely fell apart. Still, this is a ball player who's done nothing but help his community, be an important piece to Canada basketball.
Yeah, very loyal
year
to
in,
the
year out.
Raptors. Yeah.
He got asked by a kid yesterday at his press conference.
Oh, didn't he cry, right?
How does it feel to be an icon?
Yeah.
And listen, we know Kyle Lowry isn't an icon, but still, no, I know listen, that might have been mean, but listen, it's the thought. It truly is the thought.
We know Kyle Lowry is not an icon.
But for, Canada, listen, Kyle Lowry, he's the number 2 on that team.
From probably fan perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah,
just over time being there as well. He's been there for the growth.
The longest, yeah.
It's just, I'm happy Kyle Lowry's getting the attention because by no means as a basketball player is he the most talented guy, but he's a good guy. And to get this kind of treatment from a minority owner to an organization that's considered one of the best in basketball and sports.
Easily, yep.
It's just a very ugly situation. I hope Mark Stevens has a lot coming towards him because very bad situation.
He won't have much money coming towards him, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, $1 billion.
Well, I mean, I'm saying he's got to give it $500,000.
You gotta pass it up. That's chump change to him. That fall out of his pocket.
Oh, I don't know, man.
$500,000. You got $1 billion. Do you know how much $1 billion is?
I do.
Is that $100 million or is that over? How much is $1 billion?
$1 billion's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how big of
100 billion.
10. Yeah,
100 billion.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of money.
100 million.
Yes. Okay. He's $500K. Don't mean anything. Yeah. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you can't make him pay more just because of his bank account. But
give it all.
Yes, turn it over. But game 4, the Raptors did end up winning that game as well, 105-92. Could be the last game at Oracle.
Could be. Yes.
I don't know. KD, they had all thought he was going to play in this game. You could tell. This was the build-up. And I think this is the first time the Warriors got kind of exposed. That they don't know what's happening with this situation.
I thought KD and Thompson would play. Only Thompson played. And it showed they missed KD at some points. They were not able to really get into a rhythm, get into a groove. Steph Curry looks a little tired.
Looks awful.
He's playing injured. I think he's dealing with...
He has multiple injuries.
Yeah, he's went down 2 or 3 times this playoffs. He's dealing with injuries. Thompson's banged up. I think Steph's a little banged up personally.
DeMarcus Cousins is useless.
Cousins is just a...
Can't even move.
Game 2 he was good. Other than that was about it.
They've had to lower his minutes, and honestly...
He's playing about 28, 29 a game.
Even with Looney's injury, he should be starting over
Looney's
him.
hurt as well.
Yeah.
He hurt his shoulder.
The fact that he even ended up playing in Game 4 was a miracle. Everyone had said it was done. He was out for the series. Wayne got a second opinion and got approved.
Yeah.
I just think DeMarcus Cousins at this point is a true liability. He's turning the ball over like crazy. His
defense is bad.
He's awful.
Bad. Yeah.
This Warriors team, they have a 17% turnover rate right now. That would have been dead last in the NBA in the regular season.
I believe it, yeah.
That's how crazy this Raptors defense is. And to have a guy who's out of shape and hurt.
Siakam's been an animal. Siakam's been awesome.
And, Siakam, with his entire situation, Siakam, it's not always high point totals every night, but he's doing it everywhere.
Game one was,
he's playing great defense. A lot of the length people talk about with this team, it's him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's
it's him and Kawhi.
Awesome. Van Fleet's been great ever since his son was born.
Gasol's had really one bad game this series.
Gasol's been good. It was turned out to be a good trade deadline pickup.
Ibaka plays the best game of his playoff career last night.
Ibaka's been great.
20 points, 4 rebounds, and assists in 22 minutes.
Even Danny Green's come off the bench and hit a few threes.
He's starting to get hot.
Yeah.
No fear out here. And this is just how you see a championship team come together. You're seeing the Danny Green, the Kawhi from the Spurs, that synergy, that championship winning formula. And, in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, you saw in all reality, Kawhi had to take over because his teammates didn't believe in themselves. They knew. At times it was like, let Kawhi do it because we
that's
can.
why I felt like Milwaukee would take him out.
Yeah.
I didn't think Toronto's role players were good enough. I didn't think Siakam was good enough. Van Fleet, Danny Green. I didn't think
Fred Van Fleet couldn't play a game before he had a kid.
I knew they exactly.
Come on.
I knew they could be good in spurts for quarters, halves, maybe a game, but I didn't think they could go series being this hot, and they have.
It's been Kawhi Leonard's leadership. That's truly what continues to stick out to
Kawhi's
me.
been awesome. He's again best two-way player in the NBA.
He's got these guys to believe in themselves.
You could argue he's the MVP of the finals, MVP of the regular season, and you could argue he's the best player in the world right now. You could make all those arguments from that just this postseason from him.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been
without
awesome.
a doubt. And for Kawhi, a lot of people may want to say he's quiet, he's weird, whatever it may be.
He's weird.
To get these kind of guys to all believe in themselves, that's the craziest part.
Nick Nurse, too. We all bashed on the Raptors for hiring Nick Nurse, firing Dwayne Casey. Well, I think we both didn't mind firing Dwayne Casey, but we felt like they needed a new change.
We felt like they were
regime.
staying, they were just staying within the same loop.
You're just staying within the course, and it looks like it's totally went the other way. Nick Nurse has been a great coach in crunch time.
What sticks out to
He's
me with
been awesome.
Nick Nurse is he's not afraid to look stupid.
No, he's
that's
not.
truly
he
it.
takes chances. He's won so many titles in London. He's won a G League title. He's been all over the place. He's got Kawhi to buy in. He's got his whole team to buy in.
Steph Curry calling his play calls cheap earlier in the series, talking trash, doing different stuff like that. They didn't like his approach. He doesn't care.
This team is up 3-1 right now against arguably the best dynasty in NBA history, and they left Game 4, and they weren't smiling, they weren't laughing, they were nothing.
Walked right off the court.
Walked right off the court and ready for Game 5 in Toronto. That speaks volume of how Nick Nurse has his team rallied, very Patriot, very Bill Belichick-esque.
No, that's exactly it. It's just confidence from the top.
Yes.
And that stands out when you look at the Warriors, and from the top right now, all you sense is panic.
Yes, for sure.
Panic, uncertainty.
Injuries.
Yes, and frustration.
Yes.
I hate the way the situation has played out just between KD and kind of the main core on this team. I don't care what I'm seeing from them. When they come in the tunnel, great. Give me a high five. You're not out there. You're not part of that fight.
Again, I think they underestimated the Warriors. I mean the Raptors.
Yeah.
I really think they did. I think that's what it comes down to. Curry's played well, but I think he's battling injuries. I don't think he's 100%. Clay, we know, isn't 100%. Cousins is just a walking wall.
Mm-hmm.
KD hasn't played yet till Game 5.
No.
But I am going to pick the Warriors to win Game 5.
You have them winning tonight?
I do.
You know what?
I don't think it's going to be... I know everything looks great for Toronto. They're going to win it in front of Drake, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, whatever it's called. I just have a feeling Golden State's going to come out, give everything they got, and they're going to get the win today.
I think there is a very high chance of that.
Talent overall wins.
Yeah.
And I think they're the most talented team at the moment.
See, talent does win, but at this point, the talent of this Raptors team has raised to a different level. This is not the same Raptors team.
I don't know if Golden State's going to win the series. I think they're going to win Game 5.
It's just hard for me tonight to see a game. And I think it is very possible KD comes out and plays. I do not have faith in him holding up. It's obvious he's coming into this game. One of KD's biggest strengths is his length and his defensive ability on top of the offense. KD is going to be basically a wasteland on defense, it seems.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to be able to match up with Kawhi.
They need his offense.
Yes.
That's what they're banking it on.
In all reality, Kevin hasn't played a basketball game in a month.
Yeah, he hasn't played in a month.
And you're telling me he's going to get on the court and be full go and full speed with everyone?
I don't know if he'll be full go.
That sounds crazy to me.
No, he won't be full go.
Because they need him to play at least something close to 30, 35 minutes.
I think he'll be able to somehow put up at least 20 points here.
I don't even know if that's enough at this point.
I don't think
and
so.
that's truthfully it.
I think you're going to have another great game by Steph today. I think Steph's going to pull something out. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just with the rest of this team, this bench, the rotations, they've all become weird. These are guys playing, these lineups. They haven't played with each other a lot throughout the year.
There's no set rotation for Kerr here. He's he hasn't had the ability to, exactly.
Yeah, I just think expecting KD to come out tonight and be that effective is a big stretch.
So you're picking Toronto tonight?
Yes, I am picking Toronto tonight. I think it's the story. Listen, 3-1. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Toronto at this point, the Warriors look lifeless to me. They do. And it's beyond just the fact of injuries. It's knowing that this is not going to be the same team.
That crowd's going to be crazy tonight.
A month from today, it's going to be different. That dynasty will be done. 1 month. KD will likely have given us his selection. It's just, if I'm the Warriors right now, I think they're ready to just be done with this phase. No more of the KD. They're ready to move on and be back to what they were before KD.
The only thing here, I think if the Warriors do lose, I think it's more likely Durant comes back. Because I think if they win, there's no chance he's coming back.
I don't know. I think at this point, there's a relationship disconnection there. There is. And I think for the culture they want to build, Kevin Durant doesn't fulfill it. And as great as he has been on the court, a lot of the reasons this team isn't as good as they are is because they don't have they can honestly boost that bench in a lot of ways once Kevin leaves, and that's the truth. That bench will go back to having a lot of pieces, and you have Sean Livingston, who's retiring after this year, who's
probably
bones out there.
Yes. Iguodala's another year older
and broken.
See where he is.
You know, his body's not working. They're going to be able to replenish that bench. This is going to be a different Warriors team in a year.
Yeah, different.
They don't need Kevin Durant to still be as successful and be a great team. Will they be a dynasty win every year assumption? No. But they can still be there.
Yeah, I think even if Durant leaves, I think depending on where he goes, I think the Warriors still could be the favorite to come out of the West.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. If Thompson resigns,
What's your expectations for the rest of this series overall?
What I want to happen or what I think is going to happen?
What do you think is going to happen?
So I think the Warriors are going to push this thing to 7.
Wow.
I really do. I think
if it gets to 7, it's the Warriors. All momentum will be gone.
So I think we're going to have a show before Game 7.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting.
Yes, that would be.
But I think Game 6 they can win in Oracle. I really do. And I think it's going to set up for a great Game 7 where it's going to be literally...
I think it's tonight. Tonight's the do-or-die game.
The Warriors need to play like it's Game 7 for the next 3 games.
That's it. You look at it for Toronto right now, right? The Warriors got manhandled at home last game. The Toronto loses tonight. Now Golden State has the confidence we beat them at home.
Yep.
Now we're going home. We're not going to lose back-to-back like that
Toronto
at home.
can't lose tonight.
You know what I'm saying?
They can't lose tonight.
So you go to that next game. The Warriors now have the momentum. You get to Game 7. Anything can happen. In the Warriors, a dynasty team in Game 7? Nope.
That'll be crazy.
Don't push yourself
I
to
hope
that.
it goes to a Game 7. That'll be awesome.
For fun,
to see.
as an NBA fan, that would be crazy. I feel like that would be the perfect
in
way
Toronto,
to end it.
Drake chirping Draymond with a minute left.
But unfortunately, dynasties
Love it.
don't end like that.
I hope it
usually
gets that
don't.
far.
It usually ends in a very sad way as injuries kind of tear you down. And I think that's the story of this season.
And I feel like a lot of the record, probably what people are going to remember most from this series is a lot of things happened off the court. Durant's injury.
That's it.
Obviously, Lowry with the minority owner. So I want to see some action on the court, some memorable moments here. I want a LeBron James block, a Ray Allen 3, something memorable like that.
At this point, with the way this series is going.
Like, what's the memorable play of the series? Right now, there isn't one.
No, but this playoffs, like, the playoffs have that
The playoff
moment.
is
no matter
Kawhi's
what,
shot.
and nothing's going to eclipse that.
Yeah.
No matter, unless he hits a game winner to win the finals.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way. And
like, right now, like, the championship DVD moment is that shot when Kawhi hit it over.
It had never happened before. That's
Crazy.
what's going to stand out. The tongue out like it was, the celebration.
Crazy.
There's murals all around Toronto, Canada with it.
Billboards.
Nothing's going to beat that moment. Even if they lose, that moment is still going to be held in history, you know?
I just hope we get some moment like that.
That finals moment.
Yeah, just that. Everyone knows it, whether it... Again,
if you were to put a guess, who is it? Who has the moment?
It had to be Kawhi, right? Have to be.
Does it have to be?
Or you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Van Fleet. I don't know.
Like you think back, Iguodala had it at one point. You know what I mean?
Maybe Lowry.
But like in years past,
But
you know
that's
what
the
I
thing.
mean?
Toronto has so many role players. Who knows who it could be?
Oh, I feel like it's going to be a role player. I think that speaks to this team very well. I'm going to go Danny Green.
Danny Green might be.
Danny Green with
He's
the big
a seasoned
3.
vet. He's hit some great shots in San Antonio.
Kawhi has a lot of faith in him.
Yeah.
And we've seen Danny Green coming alive is the reason why they're kind of out in front of Golden State like
Green
they are.
struggled in the Eastern Conference Finals. He barely played.
He was awful. He looked like he had lost everything.
Yeah, he didn't play well. He's turned it around.
Siakam, I think, is a possibility too.
He could
maybe
be too,
emerging right there. You know.
So would that be a block? If you're thinking Siakam, you think probably defense.
Yeah, probably defense, but who knows? On the offensive side, he's had some explosions. You know what I mean? I could imagine a nice little post move from him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Something like that. A nice bucket, a 3, a block, a steal, just something.
I feel like with Kawhi, it very well could be him, but I think he's had his moment this postseason. And I think the story is this isn't Kawhi carrying this team. That's not the story anymore. It's the fact that Kawhi can start and the rest of the guys can finish.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the true story of the Toronto Raptors. And it wasn't like that when this postseason started.
No, I wonder if teams in general are going to change their philosophy if the Warriors end up losing the finals and the Raptors win. Because in reality, they have one star, but they have a bunch of great role players.
Because they're
they all fit their role. I wonder if teams are like, well, instead of getting 2 stars, why don't we get this 1 star and then we could use the money we're going to use in the second star to pay all these role players?
No, that's exactly it. Is there a way to build the perfect puzzle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need the big chips.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 4 big pieces.
Yeah.
It can be 1,000 of the little pieces.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Kind of. It's never really been done before. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks in was it 06 were the closest thing with Dirk, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, but they still had names.
Exactly. This Toronto team, if anything, they were known as a bunch of underperforming losers.
Yeah.
That was kind of their story.
Yeah, with the Mavericks in 2012, the Pistons 2004, they're really
probably the closest.
Yeah. So
because they didn't have an MVP on their team.
No, they didn't. They had guys. It was Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace.
Mm-hmm. So that's probably the closest thing. I hope for Toronto. I want them to lock it down tonight. I feel like this just isn't the Warriors' time. It just feels wrong. It feels like everything that could have gone bad for the Warriors.
The Raptors have certainly earned it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Have certainly earned it. If they somehow blow this 3-1 lead, it'll probably be the biggest blown opportunity in Canadian history and arguably basketball history.
If that happens, Kevin Durant has to win MVP.
Oh my goodness,
it's the only way.
Well, you know what the Vegas odds right now have him for MVP? It's 1 in 1,000, so which means actually it's 1 in 10,000.
It's like $10.
So if you put $1, you win $10,000.
Wow, holy crap!
It's worth that bet, Tyler. Brophy's eyes are listening now.
Now that
I'd take that bet.
Now that I'm a sports betting professional,
when you throw $1 on Durant tonight to win the finals, MVP.
No,
it's $1.
Maybe it's just $1, right? I might just have to flex. Ben, I've become a sports betting pro while we're here.
Have you?
Let me flex. I won $85 on the UFC card this past weekend.
Okay.
Not bad, right?
Not bad at all. I respect that.
$12 in, 85 out.
Worth?
I feel like a little baller out here, bro.
It was $12. He put in $12 and won 85.
Dude,
not bad.
That's a win. Yeah.
What was the bet?
So basically, the way DraftKings does it for the UFC cards, you pick. It's kind of like fantasy. You pick 6 fighters, and they base it off
significance.
Thank you. No, significant strikes,
significant.
and takedowns. Thank you. I can't speak. Rounds, who wins rounds, different stuff like that, and it kind of all builds up to a fantasy level amount of points, and whoever finished with the most points wins. I ended up pulling out at the end. I won by 6 points.
Nice, man.
A little baller out here.
You're going to start betting on my sports.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
So right now in the sports betting universe, hockey, no disrespect, Ben, but it's really not fun to bet on.
No, I mean,
it's not.
There's too many factors.
There's a lot of
that
variables. So hockey, you basically bet on the over-under. So like the over-under for Game 7 is probably 5 goals. Do you think they're going to score more than total 5 goals? Like, it's not that interesting. It's fun with football. Football's the best. College football, NFL, that's great.
Yeah. See, with MMA, the
baseball sucks too.
Yeah, that's true. You on that. Just because it's so day to day, 0 for 4 random.
It's like exactly. You never have no idea.
Yeah. It was fun with MMA because the minute you saw someone get knocked out when Cejudo went out and won his belt in what was it, the 3rd round, and finished with the TKO, you were like, holy crap, because you just won the TKO.
And it gives you more of a reason to watch the fight.
Exactly. It makes
from a common fan. I know you're a diehard fan from a common fan.
Yeah.
If like me or Ben are gonna bet on someone, we're gonna watch it to see if the guy wins.
Because in all reality, the common fan only cares about the main event. This makes every fight through the prelims and the main card fun if you have guys.
You can bet on anything with sports betting. Anything, college football, college basketball. It's crazy.
Exactly.
I love that all this stuff is getting legalized.
It's a blast. It should be.
And it's not like you have to bet like. I know people call me a gambling degenerate, but it's not like
you are a gambling degenerate.
It's not like I roll over there
Jason
and I'm
Pombo
like
live from the local rehab center.
It's like I'm gonna bet $150 on Conor McGregor to kick this guy's ass. Like I'm not like that. Like I'm like, all right, I'll throw $10 on him and I'll win $60.
That's
smart.
So,
it's smart. I'm not
like,
away your money. here's my WMLN paycheck. Let's go to the casino and I want the Bruins, the Red Sox. Like I'm not like that.
I saw my new idea is so for the MLB, right? They do a 25 entry. It's 5 guys.
$25 entry?
$25 entry. Okay. You win $125 if you come in first. It's 5 guys. And whoever finishes with the most fantasy points for that one night gets the $125. So that's pretty good.
So the probability of a 20% chance of winning that.
Yeah, that's not bad. I take that.
Have you done it yet?
No, I'm planning to do it this week, but
waiting for the right day?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think when you look at it, you got to think the audience for DraftKings. It's your local call-in radio guy.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? If we're talking about this, I'm sure there's other people that can.
Has to be. There's people who make lives off of this.
Yeah, I mean,
sports betting is all they do.
You read them on the back of magazines. I won $100,000 on DraftKings. Like, it's stuff like that. So in DraftKings, can you bet games, or is it just it's just specifically fantasy, right?
It's just fantasy. So even for the fights, you're just picking fighters, and you get their performance, whatever they get.
So you can't bet on like the Bruins to win.
No.
Okay, I didn't think
that's the one thing that kind of sucks about it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'd rather bet fights over what happens in fights.
Yeah.
Just because you never know how a fight's going to go. Someone may take them to the ground.
Exactly.
That's the fight. It's a couple takedowns.
Yeah. You going to do it for football and?
Yeah, I think
you plan on sticking around with it.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll take a little break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about your boy Kyrie Irving.
Yes, sir.
Some of the rumors going around him. Then we got some baseball and football, so you're not going to want to go anywhere.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
Engage your ears, body, and mind. WMLN 91.5.
All right, Pombo and Milliken, we're back. So, anyone who's listened to Pombo and Milliken over the past 2 years.
2 years.
Oh, wow, we're old. Knows that Jason has been in a very supportive relationship with
Yeah,
Kyrie Irving.
You could say that. I wish Matt Burnett was listening. It's
Could
unfortunate.
arguably be his father at this point.
It's not my father.
Jason was at the
It's not-
movies
not my
watching.
father.
How many movies has he dropped?
He dropped one.
One, just
Yeah.
one movie.
Yeah.
Jason was first in line for that movie.
I did have first in line.
Jason
saw
actually
it the
secured a
week
job
after.
at his local theater so he could see it.
Yes. I was told 4 years prior to the movie.
But Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN,
yes.
Came out with a report a couple days ago saying Kyrie Irving is reportedly serious about the Nets.
Brooklyn Nets, yes.
Yes. How are you feeling, Jason? We know the conversation surrounding whether he'll be returning to the Celtics.
Yeah, so his future looks murky in Boston, that's for sure. So Stephen A. Smith was the first one reported the day before, but everyone kind of like takes Stephen A. with a grain of salt because with his New York ties.
He's a different thing every day from him.
But Woj is pretty, he's level-headed, he's a good reporter. The only thing, he's messed up occasionally, but he's pretty good. So what Woj says I kind of take seriously, so I do think Kyrie has serious interest in the Nets. I think he had past tense, serious interest in the Knicks until Durant was like, I don't think I'm going to go there. And I think he's like, bleep you, I'm not going alone.
When you look at the situation, right, between the Knicks and the Nets, right?
Yes.
Both are in New York. Yeah, you're going to be able to go and enjoy all the luxury of both.
Pretty much, yeah.
The only difference here is the Knicks owner is James Dolan, who's arguably the worst owner in sports.
Yes.
It's really not much of an argument. You can go to Brooklyn. You got the Jay-Z connection over there.
Yep.
It's young. Likely, if Kyrie and KD were to go there, D'Angelo Russell, who's a restricted free agent, would not be there.
Probably not, no.
Most likely. We've seen the Nets, who now have two max contracts they can offer after creating cap space with their trade this past week. I don't see why not. It's just an overall better feel.
So,
and you go to Brooklyn where you see, no matter how bad Brooklyn's been, they got celebrities coming to their games just like the Knicks do.
Obviously, they don't have the Knicks don't even have pedigree. They haven't won crap. But everyone, MSG, this and that, it's a great place to play and all that fake stuff. But the Nets, obviously, Kenny Atkinson's a good coach. They have a lot of good young players. Now, would bringing Kyrie in change things? Maybe, because then in terms you might need to deal them to get other pieces.
Kyrie's going to have to learn how to work with the young Bucks because he definitely couldn't do it here.
So I think the Nets' ultimate plan here is, I think Durant's a long shot for them. I think plan B is Anthony Davis. And I think their plan C is to pair Kyrie with Tobias Harris. I have heard that in numerous different spots that they're big three. It's not really a big three. But Kyrie, D'Angelo Russell, and Tobias Harris are your three best players.
Rough.
I don't love it. I think it's a 5 seed in the East.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a championship team by any stretch. It's probably a first round elimination.
Yeah, I just think D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie Irving are the same guy.
Yeah, I don't think it would mesh well at all. Russell, I think he's not going to talk down to Kyrie.
He's not
going to talk down to Kyrie. Kind of in the same spot it was last year with the Celtics guys. These young Nets had a great first round series. Took the Sixers to 6 games or whatever it was.
D'Angelo Russell is Kyrie Irving without the winning. That's all it is.
Russell, he's still young. I feel like he's been around forever. He's 23.
But Kyrie coming in young, having the success he did, hitting the big shots. D'Angelo Russell's hit the big shots. They're just in meaningless games. like it's the truth. It's regular season. He's done it. Kyrie has the moments in the finals and the playoffs.
Thursday nights in Utah.
That's just the difference. And maybe you credit that Kyrie got lucky with LeBron coming, but
you hit the shot, yeah.
Yes, and D'Angelo Russell, he's starting to develop a very serious cult fan base amongst a lot of NBA supporters.
Oh, he is a lot. I know a lot of people that think Russell could be a number 2 on a championship team and this and that. I like Russell a lot. He's still young, but he certainly took a lot of strides forward this year.
And for a guy who felt or experienced so many difficulties when he was with the Lakers, a lot of people, with what happened to him with the recording that got posted, that would be the end of that.
And again,
in the
that
NBA.
felt so long ago. It really wasn't. Yeah.
People at that point were like, he'll never be in a locker room again.
Yeah.
He leads Brooklyn's locker room.
He could be an all-star next year. He's been awesome. But again, right now, it's June 10th. Free agency doesn't really start till June 30th. So there's, 20 days in between. That's a lot can change.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a shoo-in that Kyrie goes to the Nets. That's just kind of the latest news we have.
There was a whole set of new rumors. It was destined to be the Knicks
I feel
a month
like
ago.
I was talking to someone. It changes every day.
I think you put out a tweet about it. It was a great
something
tweet.
Out. So we all, back in October, Kyrie's like, I'm staying in Boston. So everyone's like, all right, Kyrie's staying.
And you see the clips playing.
And then this and that. So then everyone's like, oh, he's going to the Knicks. Mm-hmm. Oh, Stephen A. I'm 95% sure he's going to the Knicks. I'm talking to his father. This and that. And then a week after, he's like, no, I'm actually going to the Nets.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with Kawhi. Oh, he's a shoo-in for L.A.
That's exactly what it was.
He's not staying in
His
Toronto.
connections, look at where he's
It's cold,
from.
man. He wants to go to L.A. Oh, actually, no, he's going to stay in Toronto.
Yeah.
You say the same thing with KD. Oh, he's going to the Knicks. Wait, he actually might stay in Golden State. Like
a year ago was the Clippers.
A year ago was the Clippers.
He was going to go, and it would be LeBron versus KD in LA. Yep. Who would become the franchise that rises?
Exactly.
That Clippers rumors died a lot.
It all changes. So it's a long time away. Could Kyrie be using this Nets news as leverage to get KD to the Knicks or get the Celtics to acquire Anthony Davis? Maybe. I think that's on the table.
All these free agents are doing. They want to be wanted. That's the whole name of the game.
Right, Colin.
Come beg for me.
Yes.
That's what these guys want. And, I don't blame them. If you have the power, you are the player. You are what it's worth in the NBA. It's true. For you, make them beg. Make them do what you want because you have the power.
That was good.
Shout out Colin Cowherd.
That was good.
But it's true. That is what it is.
Yeah,
Everyone wants to be LeBron.
And exactly. Everyone's trying to leverage themselves. And that's what it is. I think Kyrie likes the Nets, but I think he could be throwing a little shade at Durant like, hey, man, let's go to New York or I'll go by myself to Brooklyn.
I think it's a little to the Celtics, too.
Or go get Anthony Davis or I'm going to the Nets.
Yeah.
And the franchise you ruined, I'm putting them back in the map and I'm going to kick you and Terry Rozier's ass. Like, I could so see that.
Eat it, Danny Ainge. That's legitimately what it is.
I could see it, but it's all, who knows? There was a lot of rumors with Kyrie to the Lakers, and now that's kind of died off.
2 weeks ago, it was the pictures LeBron liking a picture on Instagram with them together.
Kyrie was playing 2K in a Lakers uniform.
Shut up.
So it all changed. But right now, that's just the latest news. Again, next week we're going to be sitting here.
We'll have a new story.
We'll have a new story. So it's the NBA. There's 20 more days. So I'm not really going to totally accept anything until June 30th.
At this point, you look at Kyrie Irving, give me a percentage. Celtics or other team?
I think it's probably 40-60. 40% he stays, 60% he leaves.
I'm going to go, I agree with that.
So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Before I said 60-40 and I swapped.
Yeah. So, talking Kyrie, say that 60 comes true and he dips out. We have Danny Ainge talking this past week now that he's a little better in health. His first
public appearance.
Yeah. Said he loves Terry Rozier, offered him a lot of support. And we all know a month ago Terry Rozier went on First Take. And
it was less than that, but yeah.
Was it less than a month ago now? Yeah, he went on First Take and basically said, if things are the way they were last year, I want out.
So Danny Ainge's relationship with Terry Rozier, it's deep. Rozier, he picked 16th overall.
It was a reach at that time, and people ridiculed
Terry
that
Rozier
pick.
was supposed to be a second-round pick, and he got picked 16th overall. He was ridiculed. Everyone was like, really? You picked a punk from Louisville?
Yeah.
This guy sucks. He's small. He can't defend. He's nothing. But he turned out to be a pretty good player. Not a great player, but a good NBA. He's an NBA player.
Exactly.
So he has a bond with Terry Rozier. They had a good relationship off the court going into this season. But obviously, Terry Rozier's relationship with the Celtics has kind of deteriorated.
We're struggling today.
But it's true. But obviously, with the whole Kyrie drama and the whole young player drama, the locker room fell apart, and Terry Rozier was kind of responsible for some of it.
No, without a doubt.
So the term is, if Kyrie dips, do you want Rozier back? I do not, and I don't think the Celtics want to. I think they're being nice to Rozier.
I don't know. I'm curious. I feel within the division amongst the team, it was, the young players versus Kyrie, and I'm guessing Terry Rozier was on that younger player side.
He was.
With the, I don't know his exact relationship with Tatum and Brown to that degree.
He has a good relationship with Jaylen Brown.
Okay. Jaylen Brown, who, let's be real, this offseason, he's getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are hyping him up.
He's been on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
He was in Egypt. He's been all everywhere.
Jaylen Brown's becoming a personality around here. I think if you're committing to this young movement, we've heard talks, this is a good way to tie it in with Capella, possibly being dealt to the Celtics with his current contract.
Yep.
I think if you're going young, the right idea is Terry Rozier. Otherwise, goodbye. Get him away.
I don't want... Even if you go young,
Kyrie's going to fist fight him in the parking lot. There's no way they remain here. They both can't.
Oh, yeah, they both won't. Money won't work.
Yeah.
Rozier wants to get paid.
It just doesn't work.
So I think if you do go young, Kyrie does dip, and let's say you build around Tatum and Brown, I think you should go acquire a veteran point guard, a Mike Conley.
Someone who can help them develop.
Someone that can help them develop, a good locker room guy, something like that. Maybe a Ricky Rubio, I've seen that. Something like that. I wouldn't bring back Rozier.
Yikes.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I think it depends. It feels like the Celtics have always had a different image of Terry Rozier than what a lot of people seem.
It changes,
to appear. And
he was Scary Terry. He was selling all these shirts.
And the truth is, as great as people want to reference that playoff run, he was so inconsistent during that time.
Yeah, he kind of,
he was up and down.
In that Game 7 against Cleveland, he used bad. Jason Tatum was their best player. Yeah.
I think for Terry Rozier, he's just not the guy you want to build a franchise around. No matter what the comments he went and said on TV, that proves he's not a leader.
Yeah, he's immature.
That's all it is.
He's immature.
if you want to commit young, maybe you try and see to let it develop. But I like your idea of going with the veteran
point guard, and then you could build with your young wings or your young big, whoever you want.
I think Conley would be a great fit.
Something like Conley, that would be interesting to see.
Someone who will put his arm around Tatum and Brown.
Conley's going to be available because John Morant is likely going to go too. So you could make a move to get Conley, and then let's say you go get Capella. Your starting 5 next season is Conley, Marcus Smart, Brown, Tatum, and then Capella.
You kind of get to some degree, not exactly, but it's somewhat. You get to relive that dream of the Eastern Conference matchup.
Conley's a little older, but Jaylen Brown going into it'll be his 4th year. Tatum going into his 3rd year. Clint Capella going into his age 26 season.
Yeah.
Like, they're all young, so
they'll be letting those young guys who back in the Eastern Conference last year were talking.
I know Dylan gets clowned because he called him the best center in the NBA.
Oh my
so
God.
us at WMLN kind of have a rough image of Capella because everything Dylan says is true.
I had forgot about that. How sad is that?
So yeah, I know. It's true. I love Dylan, but we all know what we all know. So.
Yeah. Well, Capella was unplayable in the playoffs.
You know what? So when I heard the rumors, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look at his stats. I want to look at some stuff. So I did that. He averaged 16 and 11 last season, and he was their third, arguably their 4th scoring option. Not too bad in Houston, where James Harden is pretty much ball dominant 95% of the time. He's not looking down low. So could Capella average 20 and 12 in Brad Stevens' system? Hell yeah, he could.
It's just an interesting matchup because you go and look at Al Horford, kind of the service.
Horford would be gone.
Yes. You look at the service he filled here, right? The big reason they liked Horford was he can move around the court, he could shoot the 3. Capella has no outside shot whatsoever.
Correct.
So in that, you're kind of committing to that older NBA formula of your typical big guy, get him up there and let him beat people up. If a lot of people in the NBA are moving away from that, we've seen the Dwight Howards get pushed away, no longer talked about. People don't want that center who's just one-dimensional. It doesn't work in a lot of systems.
Yep.
I don't know if the Celtics are going to exactly love that fit. I don't like the idea of having that contract for that long because I don't think it's going to age.
You don't think so?
No, not in this NBA. But
that could be
if any coach can make it work,
it's
Brad Stevens.
So the Celtics sit here. They have a lot of options on the table. Kyrie stays, Kyrie goes. They can get Anthony Davis if they want. Now, if Kyrie goes, do you still want Anthony Davis? It seems like they do. I'm not totally buying it. They've had reported interest in Capella now. Eric Gordon is among others.
I like that fit.
There's a lot of things on the table for the Celtics. Do they want to keep Brown and Tatum? Do they want to keep one of the two? Do they want to re-sign Rozier? Like, what do they want to do? Everything is on the table with this team.
It's just hard because you look at Anthony Davis, and overall, the idea of him re-signing here is still so up in the air. There were the rumors before of him saying no, then him saying, I'd be open to it. There's
a lot of things playing on the table. It's like, if you get Anthony Davis, does Kyrie come back? So I don't know what Ainge is going to do. Hopefully we get some more clarity in the next 2 weeks.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. We come back. We still got a couple more basketball topics. We got some baseball stuff, that MLB draft talk.
Oh, boy.
And then a little football. So we'll catch you on a few.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, Pombo Milliken, we're back. We had a little guest, but
delay.
We handled it. So we have one last topic for our NBA stuff today. So last week we talked about at that time Mike D'Antoni had stopped contract negotiations for an extension.
Has 1 year left on his deal.
Yes, it had looked like that relationship was not going in a good direction.
Yep.
Now they're talking again. The Rockets actually went to his house. He said he was open to talk, but it had to go through his agent. I think this is the right move for the Rockets. This whole blowing up idea went over awful. It was a PR disaster. The players were obvious they weren't too happy about it. Mike D'Antoni obviously felt like he was caught up in it once extension talks ended. No one felt safe. And for a franchise clinging to that competitive window, that's the last thing they needed.
Yeah, the Rockets are in an interesting situation here. D'Antoni, 68 years old, 1 year left on his deal, had to make a decision here. Does he want to stay in Houston? Does he want to retire? And it seems like he still wants to keep coaching. So in theory, when you have 1 year left on your deal in the NBA, you get re-extended. And GM for the Rockets, Daryl Morey, was like, actually, we might blow this whole thing up. Everyone's on the table except for Harden.
Exactly.
Capella, you're going to Boston. Eric Gordon, you're going to wherever.
Who wants Chris Paul's contract?
Exactly. It's been kind of that thing, and they're like, maybe we'll rebuild around Harden and whoever else we get back.
Look at the Clint Capella rumors we just talked about,
So I think D'Antoni will be the coach of the Houston Rockets this year. Beyond this year, I believe he probably will be for at least 2 more years.
I agree. All right, so last night, I can't remember exactly. I want to say it was around 10 or 11 p.m.
Maybe early. Yeah, probably about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Rumors started coming out about David Ortiz, Big Papi, Red Sox legend.
Icon.
Yes. About him being robbed at first before anything.
Yep.
And, slowly but surely
the details got leaked
just
out
very quickly. And then eventually we had found out, people had said he got shot in the leg. That wasn't the case either.
Yeah.
He ended up being shot in the back. A video was released of
bullet
it.
went through his stomach.
Yes, and it actually had impacted. He had to get parts of his organs removed during the surgery. At the moment, there's a good amount of knowledge on the situation. He's stable. The Red Sox have a plane that just got down there, and they believe he's going to be coming here
to Boston.
But yes, to Boston. One of the craziest situations I've ever seen.
Crazy. So this was during, obviously, the Bruins are in the Stanley Cup. We don't talk about it much, but they are in the Stanley Cup. And so this was happening during the Bruins game. So it didn't get the immediate attention because everyone's fan attention, media attention towards the
Timelines
Bruins.
were filled with Bruins
Timelines
stuff.
are filled with Bruins, but then you kind of see these David Ortiz rumors to start leaking, like David Ortiz robbed, shot in the leg, and it's like, oh, that's awful, but at least he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, usually when you're shot in the leg, like, you're going to be okay for the most part.
And we know, being in other countries as a ball player, it's a very tough experience.
Yeah.
Oscar
and that's where
Tavares lost his life.
Ortiz grew up in the Dominican Republic, so
Exactly.
this is his neck of the woods. So, and then we later found out that he actually got shot in the back. And bullet went through his stomach, which is a lot more serious, and it got Red Sox fans and fans of David Ortiz everywhere, nervous. Everyone was tweeting out 34 videos, pictures, this and that, and it was just a terrible, terrible story.
Yeah, he's 43 years old. He's still so young, only a couple of years removed from playing. And, it goes beyond that. David Ortiz, you think back to 2013, just within itself, how much he meant to the city.
Yes.
Through the Boston Marathon.
Yes.
And all those different things. The big clutch hits, like those are all there. But he's become a figure just for Boston of strength, of coming together, just of what Boston represents. And to see him almost lose his life,
it's crazy.
Be on that edge, everyone,
crazy.
I didn't see a ball player. There was very few that didn't say a word on Twitter. Or athletes in general.
From Mookie Betts, Alex Cora to Mike Trout,
Tom Brady coming out and making a picture today.
A lot of people.
It's a tough situation, and I hope he comes back and everything works itself out. He seems to be in very good hands at this point.
Yeah, it seems like he's in good condition.
He's stable.
He's stable for the most part. He's getting, obviously Tyler mentioned, he's getting sent to Boston, which is good. Best medical things in the world.
And he'll be taken care of perfect. You got to think, back in the Dominican Republic, he just as much as a god as he is here, it's an even different level down there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he is the guy.
He's bigger than anyone.
You could argue he put Dominican Republic on the map.
No, exactly.
And from this area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just as a hero. And for David Ortiz, he'll be back there eventually. Don't get me wrong. He has family down there, a life down there. It's sad to see something like this, but all good wishes to Big Papi.
Oh, yeah, same here. Big Papi was, again, I don't know about you, probably one of your favorite ball players growing up.
It's impossible.
Right up there. Who didn't like David Ortiz? Even in the later stages of his career, we all remember the 2013 ALCS, everything. You can, from 2004 with him in his days with Manny, like, he was all so reliable. He went down he did, but
his feel is still
awesome.
here. Xander Bogaerts, Mookie Betts, the leadership they have is from him.
And Alex Cora, very close.
Exactly. They were teammates, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you look across, David Ortiz, his print on this team is still there.
Yep.
It's significantly. He comes to the games all the time. He comes down to the clubhouse. It's like he's on the team still.
Exactly. He goes to the Red Sox winter weekend every single year. He's awesome.
Yeah, I remember thinking back as a kid, like, I loved Manny Ramirez, don't get me wrong, but everyone knew David Ortiz.
And we were
just as a folk hero.
I think another thing is we were younger with Manny, and I think the time we kind of his career here didn't last as long as Ortiz's.
Not at all.
Ortiz, again, Manny's ended, what was it?
He was here 2001 to 2008.
Right?
Yeah.
8.
Trade deadline.
So we were about 10 years old.
Yeah.
So Ortiz is stretched all the way to 2015, 2016, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
and David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez came here as a superstar.
Yes.
David Ortiz, when he came here, was a cast-off.
Exactly. Coming from the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah. They had moved on from him, and it was Pedro Martinez who got him a tryout here.
Yes.
And he did it. Look what he turned into.
Yes.
Greatest designated hitter of all time.
You could argue the best clutch hitter of all time.
I think he's the most clutch player in any sport of all time.
You could argue that.
I think he's right there with Michael Jordan. I truly do.
This isn't the day to have the conversation.
No, it isn't.
Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes,
in
my eyes.
I think so too.
As much as people want to say whatever, he played not a lot of first base, but he played some first base, especially in the later years and the early years. In the middle, there was almost none.
But you know what? The amount of clutch hits he's had.
He had one of the craziest career progressions of any athlete. He came in, he was a big dude. Then remember 2010-ish, I want to say, everyone thought he was done.
Yeah.
Everyone was like,
he
was struggling, he was doing awful. And then he came back and he was better than he ever was. Let's just context real quick. David Ortiz's last season with the Boston Red Sox, .315 batting average, .401 OBP. He hit 38 jacks, 127 RBIs.
I remember everyone was like, "Oh, he'll be back." Then he announced his retirement, but everyone was like, "He'll be back by July. He'll be back by August." He
finished 6th in MVP voting as a DH in his final year at age 40. Who has done something like that? Like,
in his sport, nobody.
541 career home runs, and it's crazy. All these stats stick out. He's known for being a better person.
Yep.
That is the true representation of what an athlete should be as a role model.
Nobody has said a bad thing about him.
Never.
On the field, off the field.
No, everyone wants to be David Ortiz's friend. I can't imagine how many clubhouse things he helped fix over the years.
Even Ortiz played in the age where the New York Yankees and the Red Sox rivalry was at its highest, and he's still friends with A-Rod. He's friends with all of them.
Let's be real.
Mariano Rivera.
The biggest Red Sox clip that goes around today, and the Yankees lose.
Yes,
and then the Yankees fans have edited it to have their own little turn on it.
That's your friend.
Maxwell's scene. Shout out. Yeah. I hate that video. No, he's done a good job. Don't get me wrong, but that video.
You don't like the video?
It annoys me. It's the Boston Marathon video. I don't like that. Feels weird to me. Yeah. Maybe because that moment means so much to Boston people.
Yeah.
Maybe other people don't get it, but I don't know. I always get a weird feeling when I see that.
I'm glad to see Ortiz is okay. That's for sure.
In other news, we have the Red Sox team themselves, and they are not playing great.
No, not making Ortiz proud.
Yeah, they somehow went and avoided a sweep against the Yankees, winning the last game of the series. Then they went and swept the Royals. Things were going great.
Sale had a great start.
Yes, pitched another immaculate inning, his second of the year.
Crazy.
And then they dropped 3 out of 4 to the Rays.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yes.
Really not great. Rough time out here. Listen, I think this Red Sox team from the start, Jared Carrabis put it very well on Twitter the other day. He said this is the most blah Red Sox team I can remember, or something like that.
That's pretty fair.
It's what it feels. They're not bad, but they're not good. They're just blah. You look at
middle of the road.
Yeah, I think it comes down to 2 guys. As great as Chris Sale was this past week, he hasn't been himself for most of the year. And, he's been better as of late. I think people don't realize how much he's improved since the beginning.
Yeah.
That first, 3 or 4 starts,
it was a
tone.
glorified spring training.
No, that's what it was. It was him, and on the other side of it, Mookie, who's the offensive leader, kind of the, outfield, leader of that side of the ball. He has been just about his 2017 self. Not average, but decent. 260 guy.
Not MVP caliber by any stretch.
260 batting average. I think the only difference, he has a 380 OBP, which is a lot higher than that 2017 season. But stolen base-wise, he's going down. He has only 6 this year, and we're in June. That puts him at about what? Probably something like 20 for the year. He stole 30 bases last season or the year before. Home run totals, a little bit down. Not exactly
sitting at 10, right?
Yeah. It's just not a great situation. And you're looking at Mookie. I have the stat right here. So this year, or last year, right? Betts pulled a line drive or fly ball in 102 of his 434 balls in play, right?
It's about 25%.
24. Ooh, good math. Close. Wow, Jason. When doing that last year, he hit 735 with 25 home runs and 26 other extra base hits.
Wow.
This year, he's pulled 29 balls out of 202 chances, and that's 14%. He can't hit anything that's inside or outside right now. If it's not right down the pipe, it's not. His bat speed's not there.
What do you point that as? The reason?
I think it's 2 things. I definitely think the contract extension, a lot of that talk has played into this.
Got into his head a little bit.
The other part of this is, me and you talked about this a lot. We didn't think he was going to be the player he was last year.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
We talked about the caliber and tiers of MLB players. Is he on a Mike Trout, a Nolan Arenado tier?
No,
I think he's the tier right below. He's a tier B. I mean, Tony Maserati from the Sports Hub got a lot of heat, but he said that very similar to how me and you felt. We don't think he's necessarily he's a great player. Is he a franchise-altering player?
I think if he keeps his pace...
Can he be consistent enough to do that, though?
No.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be a good year or a bad year. Or not a bad year, but he's going to be elite some years, and he's going to be an all-star some years. That's the best way to put it. You're not getting Mike Trout, who's changed the game of baseball.
Yes. Who he wants to get paid as.
Yeah, it's just not that. And at this point, the contract he wants, the Red Sox are not going to be fielding that offer.
It doesn't seem like it now.
No. And... he's talked a lot.
And this gives the Red Sox leverage.
Yes. He's talked a lot in the last couple of weeks. He said he sucked. And, you know, you have Xander Bogaerts, who has been carrying this team.
It's awesome.
You know, he's played very good defense. I know the advanced analytics aren't giving him a lot of credit, but he's done his thing. He's hitting 290 this year. He's going to have the most home runs of his career. You know, he'd be the all-star starter if it wasn't for Jorge Polanco breaking baseballs to start the year. It's a very tough spot because if we even had a 300 batting average, Mookie, I think they're 7 games back in the AL East right now.
Maybe they're 3 games back.
I think that's the difference right there. And accountability is big. It's great that he says it, but when are we going to see the change in performance?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Red Sox, at this point, they're going to be very weird about how this contract goes because I don't think Mookie's going to bend too much. At least
it doesn't seem like it. Betts has always given the Red Sox front office a hard time. He's taken them to arbitration, and 3 years ago, 2 years ago, every single opportunity they've never been able to agree to a deal.
Yeah, his side isn't very easy to work with, as it's been seen, and I don't blame him beforehand.
Everybody said the same thing about Bogarts' side with Scott Boras.
Yeah, and
they got it done.
And see, Bogarts is the special guy, personality-wise. You've always could tell he really loved Boston. He loved playing for the Red Sox. It meant a lot to him to be here. I don't know if I've always gotten that feeling from Mookie.
It doesn't seem like it because if he did, don't you think they would have already agreed on an extension by now?
Yeah, like I even think at Fenway Park, right? There's that board in center field. It's not a poster board, but an advertisement.
Yeah.
Xander Bogaerts was the face of that for like a whole I think it was 2 years ago or all last year.
Yeah.
The Majestic thing.
Yes.
Bogaerts has always been kind of the face leadership-wise. And, he came up in 2013. Mookie was obviously a little later. It's just...
I think people don't give Bogarts the credit he deserves. He underachieved early on in his career. We got a lot of hate. The power wasn't there. No. Defensively, he wasn't there.
Batting average went down at times. It was a mix. At one point, he was up there with batting champions.
But
it was just inconsistency.
He's been able to pull it together, and you look at him right now, he's... Without Bogarts on the Red Sox right now, you could argue they'd be 12 games back, 10 games back.
Easy. Bogarts, commanding that infield. Do you realize who he's been playing second base next to him? It's been Michael Chavis, Eduardo Nunez, who made a couple nice plays yesterday.
Brock
can't
Holt.
Play second base, and Brock Holt.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an easy mix. So
even Christian Vasquez at times.
Exactly. And you got Devers at third, who's getting better, but he's always up and down as well.
Yeah, always, yeah.
It's just Xander Bogaerts deserves a lot of credit, and I think Mookie Betts and Chris Sale deserve a lot of heat right now.
Those two are probably the guys that everyone had the highest expectations. Everyone thought that they would be this and that. Sale just
they
got
were the
his
premier
extension.
talent.
Yeah, premier talent. The Sale stuff is unbelievable. Betts MVP caliber talent. Whenever he steps on the field, I'm just as good as Mike Trout. This and that.
It's not the case,
and it hasn't been the case for both guys yet.
No. In our reality,
who has a better chance of turning it around? They both might, but if you had to pick one.
See, I think there's a difference. Mookie Betts, he's hitting 260. You know what I mean? He's not awful. Chris Sale was awful at one point.
Chris Sale was bad, yeah.
I think ultimately Chris Sale will get back on track.
I think so too.
He's starting to get a little bit of a roll here. I don't think it's going to be as flawless as last season was by any means. So. But Chris Sale has shown the ability to go through rough stretches and come out. Mookie Betts, when it's been a down year, it's been a down year.
Yeah.
I just think this is a repeat of 2017. Does that mean 2020? He's going to hit 330 with 30 home runs? Who knows? But the Red Sox aren't going to pay for that every single year when that's not the case.
No, they shouldn't at that point. They're already paying through the roof with so many guys here.
And I think that's why you saw them go lock up Bogarts.
They locked up Bogarts. JD Martinez is coming out the book soon. What are they going to do with him? Decisions?
That's a weird situation right now. He is missing a lot of games with little minor injuries, and the back is a consistent issue.
I still think they need him.
I agree. He's the best hitter on this team.
Yeah.
That's still not a conversation.
He's going. Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think that will probably benefit the Red Sox, if anything. He's a true DH.
Isn't Benintendi coming up soon?
Soon.
He's the year after, right?
Yeah, he has a little time. I don't know. I don't think they're as in love with Andrew Benintendi as everyone seems to make it. He's a solid player, good player, not great. I think right now the Red Sox, they have their center fielder of the future in AA, Jarren Duran. He's on his way up, dominating.
We both agree that Bradley is likely gone.
He's starting to hit. He's was one hit away last night or yesterday afternoon from 200.
He can hit all he wants.
He had a home run off the top of the pesky pole. That was cool. But
every clock's right twice a day.
Exactly. I think Benintendi, if anything, if he can't figure out his consistency issues, I don't know how much the Red Sox are going to love being to him because in all reality, he's lost his speed, and he's really not that good in left field. Sam Travis looks better than him in left field.
Yeah, what's up with Sam Travis playing left field?
He's good, man.
I saw people arguing, is he a better left fielder than first baseman?
I think
Travis,
he's Chris Smith, right? Yeah.
He's kind of got screwed a few times because a lot of So they re-signed Steve Pierce. Could have been his spot.
He
Mitch
was
Moreland
Steve Pierce.
re-signed. So he's kind of been stuck in AAA.
I don't blame them. Sam Travis had a really down year last year. They gave him a lot of chances.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like he's finding it now. In left field, he looks better than Benintendi fielding-wise. Benintendi's the better ball player. It's not even a conversation.
No, of course not.
But to see Sam Travis make some diving plays out there, throw a couple guys out, it's refreshing, I think Sam Travis, though, if you want to move on from Steve Pierce this offseason, okay.
Oh, Pierce is on a 1-year deal anyway, right?
I don't.
Was it 2 year?
I think it was 2 years, wasn't it? I could be. No, it might have been 1 year. It might have been. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was.
I thought it was 1.
I think it is.
I think
1.
we were like, it's 1 year. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Because we both agreed that we wouldn't break the bank to keep Pierce because obviously
he ended up getting a little more money than we thought.
Because he's 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal.
How much?
About $6 million.
A little more than we thought. So yeah, I think this offseason Pierce moves on.
Might even retire. Who knows?
Yeah. Let's be real. I think Sam Travis could fit in, but Michael Chavis could. Who knows? We'll see how that
might end
rolls.
up at first. And
speaking of Michael Chavis, I am down on my boy Michael Chavis right now.
We were high on him.
Yes. He did what I thought he was going to do.
He just has holes in his game at the moment.
I think we talked about this. I said there was a big regression coming.
He doesn't take many walks.
Nope.
He swings and misses at a lot of pitches. His plate discipline is not where it's supposed to be.
He can't hit anything high in the zone at all. He doesn't have one hit this year on a pitch up.
Yeah.
Not one.
He swings and misses all the time.
That's all it is. And listen, if you groove a breaking ball right there, in and low, he's going to cork it.
That's it, yeah.
But in all reality, pitchers adjust.
Yeah, pitchers, they have enough sample size on what this kid can do, and they're starting to figure it out.
I think he needs to go down for a little bit. I don't think it's anything permanent. I think you send him down. It's June right now. Maybe if an injury pops up, he's back in a month. But he needs a little time down in the minors to work through things. I think Marco Hernandez, my boy I've been talking about for 2 years.
Finally back.
Came back and has looked great in the 3 games he played. Getting a couple doubles, clutch hits. He had the 1 RBI in yesterday's game. I think Marco Hernandez is a better second baseman at this point than Michael Chavis.
He's hitting better, that's for sure right now.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And I think Hernandez has proven to be a better fielder as well.
Yeah. It's just, is Hernandez's body going to hold up?
Did you hear the story about him from spring training?
Which one?
So, yeah, that's true. So he went into spring training, for people who don't know, and he was talking to Xander Bogaerts, and he goes, I promise you, I'm going to be the spark for this team this year.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Then he went down to single A, high A, where he was rehabbing, and they asked him for a headshot, and he refused.
Really?
He wasn't willing to take a headshot. He was like, I'm not going to be here long.
Wow.
He's a very confident guy. Marco Hernandez, he's never acted like he's shy. And to think, this is the remains of Felix Dubront.
Yes.
This is what we got.
He ended up, rotting in Chicago?
Oh, he was in Oakland for a bit. You remember that? Yeah, he's gone. But I think Marco Hernandez, he can come up. I think he can provide the consistency this Red Sox team needs. Is he going to be what pushes their needle? I don't really think so. But he's better than Chavis at the moment. And once Steve Pierce and Mitch Moreland come back from the DL, it's really not a spot for Chavis.
At the point, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they go back, they get him a little work in left field, maybe him a little more of a utility guy. But with his swing and miss, I can't picture him being a bench guy too much. He needs consistent at bats.
Yeah, he's a guy that reeks of, I need to play every day. I need to play 5 out of 7 days.
He's going to have hot stretches and low stretches, but the comp I made earlier about Will Middlebrooks, I think I made it a month ago or something.
It's bad though, right?
It's not great. I think the swing and miss, I think Will Middlebrooks could have been fixed if he had been here a little bit longer. I think if they had given him a little more time within the Red Sox organization, he would have figured it out. But I think for Chavis, they're willing to wait, and I think overall Chavis has a lot more power than Will does. But I think Will could have been the better overall player if he had the right help.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Exactly. He had Xander Bogaerts breathing down his neck. So.
He did, yeah, for sure.
We
all remember the run in 2013. He was a big part of it.
Do you remember who did he trip over? Who was it? Alan Craig. He tripped over Will Middlebrooks, and
then they acquired him a year after. Yes.
And Alan Craig was hurt during that.
Sucked.
He's retired.
Did he end up coming to the Sox at all, or was he stuck in AAA?
No, he came out for a little bit.
But then he just sucked.
He kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
He was just awful when he was with this team. Poor Alan Craig, man. But yeah, I think Marco Hernandez is the guy to look towards at second base. I don't know how you feel about it.
I like the idea. I think you can platoon that.
I don't think we said last week would Eduardo Nunez be here? He's been hot since we said that. So
he had a home run right in my face.
Yeah, he's been hitting great. So hey,
don't tell Dylan.
Don't tell Dylan. Yeah,
we'll roast Michael Chavis. He'll probably hit 4 home runs.
Another addition is Eduardo Nunez going to be a member of the Red Sox in a week?
Okay, so listen, I was thinking about this earlier. This is a very weird spot.
Okay.
So if you put Marco Hernandez at second base, he's a lefty.
Okay.
You have Eduardo Nunez, who's a righty. So
Okay.
it kind of fits at that point. You have the different
So you're
side
saying
bats.
yes, Nunez will
Brock
be,
Holt's more of the awkward fit at this point.
he's more of like the utility guy. per se,
Exactly.
yeah, so he goes everywhere.
I think at this point, they're just going to kind of roll.
So Nunez is there?
I think so.
I'm going to say no every week, so we're going no.
Just until it
Just
happens. He just started hitting now, so I feel like they can't really say goodbye either. You know? It's a weird spot.
We'd have a line here.
And he made some
Will
nice
Eduardo
plays.
Nunez be a Red Sox?
He made a diving play at third base.
Survey says.
I was amazed. That's the
Look at
next
that.
thing.
That'll be perfect,
Yep.
dude. We need it.
God. All right, let's take a little break here. When we come back, I want to talk about Rafael Devers' ceiling.
Yeah, he's been hot.
Ooh, he's cooled down a little lately, but it's been special. But we'll be back in a few. We got baseball and football, so you're not going to want to go anywhere.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, we're back talking about our Red Sox Nation's favorite child, Rafael Devers.
Yes.
He's cooled off a little bit lately, but still, the evolution of Rafael Devers this year, I think, is one of the best stories in all of baseball.
I agree. Rafael Devers is a guy here. Oh, he got a lot of scrutiny early on for
ton.
his defense. A lot of people thought.
Buster only. Sorry.
A lot of people wanted to even send him down at some points. So he's kind of taken everything, every tool that he's learned, every hitting tool defensively, and he's been turning himself into a great player.
We got to think. The first story of the month for the Red Sox was, where's Rafael Devers' power?
Yes.
Everyone said it. He hadn't hit any home runs.
And they needed that power.
I kept saying, I was like, he does it in bursts. He's up to 9 home runs already, right? He's hitting 301, 361, 486. How many stolen bases do you think, Jason?
Not many.
8.
8? Oh, I was going to say 4.
So you got to think, 64 games, right? He might get 20 steals this year.
How though?
He's quick. He can run a little bit. I know. He can move a little bit.
Pass balls count.
I don't think he's going to get 20 bags. That's crazy. I think he could get 12, 13, 14.
And he's on pace for probably...
He's an athletic guy. He is. He's bigger. He has baby fat.
Yes.
But he's lost weight, too.
A little bit, yeah.
Apparently...
He's only 20. How old is he? 20 years old, right?
Yeah. Ever since he had that error that cost him that game earlier in the season, and Alex Cora kind of called him out, he's been apparently eating much better, according to Alex Cora. He's kind of taking his career seriously for the first time. I think Rafael Devers, by the end of the year, very good chance he's top 5 third baseman in the league.
Age 22 season. So when are you saying that? By his age 25 season?
That he's a top 5 guy? No, I think by the end of this year.
You saying by the end of this year?
Let's, you think about the list, right? Okay. The kind of consensus, that top 6 that people talk about, Alex Bregman, right? I'm taking Jose Ramirez out of this. He's hitting under 200 this year. Last year he hit 270. He's been on a pretty downward slope. Matt Chapman, who's become one of the best third basemen in the entire league. I believe he went to the same high school as Nolan Arenado.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of crazy, right? Anthony Rendon, who is having another great year this year, and Chris Bryant, who's playing out of his mind.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
You didn't even say Arenado, did you?
I did say Arenado, yeah. So if you were to put that list together, I think me and you, I know there's people who disagree. Bregman, too. I don't know if I said him. But I think both of us agree Nolan Arenado is our number 1 third baseman
I think
in the
we
game.
can both agree on that.
Would we agree probably Alex Bregman's the number 2?
Yeah, I'll go with
You
Bregman.
like that?
Yeah. Great player.
Third, would you put Chapman, Rendon, or Bryant? Bryant?
I'll go Bryant.
I think that's fair. I think I'd put Rendon there right now just because he's a little more consistent than Bryant.
I'd probably put Rendon at 4.
I think that's fair. I think as Chris Bryant reaches his true potential, I think he'll eclipse Rendon. And then we have Bregman. Did we put Bregman somewhere?
All right, so no, we had Bregman at 2.
2, yeah. Okay, we're right. Okay. And then that leaves us with Matt Chapman. We'd put him probably at 5.
Yep, I go Devers probably 6.
I agree. The other competition we're talking about here is Justin Turner. Really nothing too crazy to write home. Matt Carpenter,
And we're both talking Machado as a shortstop.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
for this list.
Now that Fernando Tatis Jr. is back, he is considered a third baseman, so I'd throw him in that list. But I think Devers, he's going to I think he could be in that range. I think he's going to be a better ball player than Alex Bregman by the end of his career. I truthfully do believe that. Bregman's great, but I think what he is right now, I think this is the best Alex Bregman we're going to see. I truthfully believe Devers is going to be a 320, 330, 35 home run guy every single year. Will Devers have to move out the position eventually? Maybe. But Devers plays a very good third base.
Do you think he'll have more power than Bregman?
Yes. I'm pretty confident in that. I don't think Bregman has shown a lot of power this year. I think he's already almost up to 20 home runs.
18.
Yeah, 18, yeah. I think as Rafael Devers keeps going, he's only at 9 right now, but once he gets that power consistently, it's going to be something special. There's a reason people projected him to be this 30 home run guy
again,
in the MLB.
These guys are a lot older than Devers. Devers is, again, 22.
Crazy.
Bregman's in his age 25 season. I think Bryant's in his age 27 season. Arenado, I think he's in an age
28, 29?
29, something like that.
I think it might be 29. But overall, I think Devers is going to be right. Maybe he doesn't get in that top 5. Saying the list maybe makes it a little harder. But I think maybe 2-3 years from now, he'll be in that top 5. He'll find a way. I think guys like, you look at Matt Chapman, who's, come out very strong. Let's see in a couple years how he kind of progresses. His leading thing is his glove. I think Devers is always going to be a better hitter than him. We'll see how that kind of evens out amongst the, the WAR side of things, But Rafael Devers will be the best player on this team. He'll be better than Mookie Betts.
Better than Bogarts?
Yeah, as a hitter.
Think so.
I think Bogarts will always be the leader, the kind of guy who sticks here and, people turn to him. But I think Devers will be the better overall player. He's just always going to be the younger brother, Yeah. I think that's just kind of what he's going to be framed as. Along with Devers, the lineup still has been rough lately. But the other part of the team that drives everyone insane is the bullpen.
Yes, of course.
Gosh.
Of course.
Oh, my gosh. I hate this bullpen.
It's 150 and we haven't mentioned the bullpen.
It's sickening, actually. Listen to this. Let's list all the quadruple A arms on this team.
The what? What'd you say?
Quadruple A. Not
okay.
triple A. These are guys who are not good enough for the MLB.
So like in-betweeners.
Yeah. Guys who are going to be up for a couple,
back up and down,
exactly.
Yeah.
We had Ryan Weber, who was recently demoted. You suck. I hate Ryan Weber.
He sucks.
He throws 87.
He sucks.
He can't get a ball by anybody. Watching the Royals hit him around, are you kidding me?
The Royals hitting him around.
They have basically the same record as the Orioles this year. Oh, my God. Then we have our boy Mike Schwarn, who's not a quadruple A arm, but he's come up and looked okay. Josh Taylor.
Do you consider him a quadruple A arm?
No. I think he's going to be a back-end guy in the MLB. Worst comes to worst, a 7th, 8th inning guy. Josh Taylor, awful. He sucks, too. Colton Brewer.
He sucks.
Depends on the day, but he sucks for the most part.
Man.
No, he doesn't know where the ball's going.
Yeah, he throws it. He's got no idea. He sucks.
I think he's a little bit better than them. Maybe he'll stick around.
I remember the Red Sox signed him, and you tried to convince me the spin rate.
Yes, you could see the ability, but
no, he sucks.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that one. Marcus Walden, the shine's coming off very quickly.
I don't think he's quadruple A though.
No, I think he's a 6th, 7th inning.
Yeah, I think he's a 7th.
He gave up a bomb yesterday.
He did.
I think was it Yandy Diaz? I'm pretty sure.
I still like Walden as a 7th inning guy.
Okay. The other quadruple A arm, the new name to the list, Ryan Brazier.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
He's not. He won't be in this bullpen next year.
He
bad. Sucks. He can't throw. He threw. I swear, and he pitched a clean inning yesterday. Clean.
He's like an archer. It goes straight.
That's it. It's just a ball right chest high. Just swing. It's probably gonna get out. You know what I mean?
Throw an arrow at him.
Oh, I can't stand Ryan Brazier. I don't know what this team's gonna do. It's Matt Barnes, it's Brandon Workman, and Heath Hembry, and everybody else. Who would have thought we'd be talking about Heath Hembry in this fight?
I was going to say, where did Heath Hembry come from?
He's pitching great.
I know he has.
They're limiting him. They keep him out of a lot of situations.
Yeah,
but he also has always pitched in a lot of traffic. Like yesterday, he came in, he pitched for 1 out. I don't understand why. I believe it was Rodriguez pitched 5 2/3. He came in and got the final out of the 6th. He should have pitched the 7th, in my opinion, but they had Walden go out, and that's when the game got out of reach. I still think Heath Hembry can be a 7th inning guy here. I think he's like Walden. I think they're kind of the same breed. You're going to have good days and you're going to have really bad days. Yep. I'm very concerned for this bullpen because I don't think Brian Johnson's the answer. Do you?
I don't believe so either.
And I don't believe Tyler Thornburg's the answer. I don't believe Hector Velasquez is the answer. I'm starting to think they need 2 bullpen arms. I don't think it's just 1.
2?
Yeah.
I don't think they get 2.
I don't think they have the room. I really don't.
I think they can. I think if they get 1, they can be lucky.
Off the scrap heap kind of idea.
Or Walden can get hot again, or Hembry can keep going, something like that.
It's just, with those 3 relievers, you got Matt Barnes. He's an elite reliever in this league.
For sure.
I don't think people question that at this point. Brandon Workman's solid, good. He's having a good year. But I don't think anyone would want him pitching the 8th inning of a big game, even though he did pitch the 8th inning back in the 2013 World Series.
But that doesn't count because that's
6 years ago.
That's like a fluky situation.
He was a different guy back then too,
and he wasn't even the true 8th inning guy anyway. That was Tozawa.
You remember he ended up hitting?
Yes.
Came up for that little bat, Junichi Tozawa. But yeah, I don't know. This bullpen, I'm very, very nervous. I don't trust them at all late in games, and I think ultimately this summer is going to be filled with a lot of blown games from them.
Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't surprise Red Sox fans, surprise baseball fans, because you didn't do anything to this bullpen. You added Colton Brewer, you added Brandon Workman. Brandon Workman was already in your organization.
Yeah.
Colton Brewer you added because of his freaking spin rate.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
You look at Brandon Workman and like the fastball is not what it once was, but he's getting by. If I were them, I start mixing some different things in. I think you know what? This is my prediction. I think with this bullpen, they don't go out and get two pieces, but Darwinzon Hernandez becomes a mainstay reliever this season.
Isn't he starting tomorrow?
Rumors. It's a weird situation. The way it looks right now, he looks like he could be called up. I don't know why he'd be the pick. I'd start Schwarren, but he's been forced to pitch. He pitched 2 days ago, I think now. So I don't know if he'd be ready for a start, but Darwinzon Hernandez can't start.
Moral of the
games.
story here, moral of this conversation, basically means you've brought up most of these guys we're talking about. We really weren't expecting to be talked about at this point in the year.
Up and down guys.
So
Jenry Mejia, one of the guys everyone loved. He has like a 6 ERA.
Was that the guy that got kicked out of baseball?
Yes, he got suspended 3 times for PEDs.
Yes.
Former Met.
Yes.
Shout out intern Nate.
Yes. Clean that high school, Nate.
Yes. He's not even an option to be called up. And you look at AAA, there's really no arms down there to get excited about. You know?
Yeah, they have nobody. They're screwing around with Lakins, Schwarren, every Ben Brophy in town.
It's okay. Ty Butchery's over with the Angels, killing it right now. So nice to see. We could have had probably an 8th inning, 9th inning guy.
How about Ottavino?
Yeah, there. We could have just spent the money, right?
Could have re-signed Kimbrel.
Yeah, look at him now with the Chicago Cubs.
Yes.
We'll get into that in a second. But ultimately, I think this bullpen will be part of what causes Dave Dombrowski his job here.
I don't know if it's going to cost him his job, but I think it's going to cost the team this year. Whether it's a blown game in the wild card game, whether it's a blown game in the ALDS, ALCS, it will catch up to them.
I don't think Dave Dombrowski is going to be fired this offseason, but I think maybe after next season, I think his team construction's so poor. It truly is.
Well, he's never
poor.
built a true bullpen in his life.
And it's obvious. In this bullpen,
40 years of baseball.
There's no one coming up who's going to save this bullpen. Darwinzon Hernandez, but they're not treating him like a true reliever.
They're going to be forced to pay someone, you'd think, right?
They don't have a ton of money. They really don't. There's some really weird situations about to go on with Mookie Betts' contract. You extended Xander Bogaerts. You took care of him.
Yep.
We got
paid sale.
Yeah, we got the weird Jackie Bradley Jr. situation this offseason. Benintendi in a couple
You have the
years.
Martinez situation.
It's I feel like there's a lot of decisions, and I feel like the Red Sox are not going to love the direction he's going in.
I do think he's get back for next year. I think next year.
No, I agree.
He's getting up there in age anyway. I think, how old is he now? Is he?
He's up, yeah. I think 70?
Close.
Does that sound right? 70?
He looks good for those.
Yeah. Oh, his hair. He has great hair.
Unbelievable.
I think ultimately the Red Sox, you know what?
He's actually a lot younger than we. He's going to be 63 in 2 months. Next
good for
month.
him. Ultimately, I don't think he'll be fired, but I think him and the Red Sox are going to agree different directions. They're going to want to go closer to the Ben Cherington method. I promise you.
Rehire Cherington.
My dreams, my wild. No, I don't want Pablo Sandoval. I don't want Pablo Sandoval. I don't want Hanley Ramirez.
Everybody makes mistakes.
No, it's true. But they're going to want someone who can build this farm system up to be what it needs to be. One of the guys who saved the Red Sox bullpen last year, Nathan Eovaldi, had a setback. He is a starting pitcher for this team. Alex Cora said he's not going to go to the bullpen.
Getting paid like a starter.
Yep. I'm not feeling good about Eovaldi.
No, he hasn't pitched in a long time
I don't
here.
think he pitches
and the
till
setbacks
next month.
really doesn't. Yeah, till July.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
He needs time to build up his arm. He has bicep soreness. That's always a weird thing. He's dealt with arm injuries, 2 Tommy Johns.
2
of these loose body elbow surgeries. Yikes.
I don't blame for Dombrowski for paying him because I think
I thought you had to.
Yeah, I think you had to. And you're going to need him going forward if you want to make any noise in the playoffs. If you want to make any noise next season.
I don't like them locking him into a starting pitcher position.
Yeah,
Cora keeps doing this, and I don't think it's a must.
Why can't you flirt with him in the bullpen a little bit?
I think you could play that game all season. If you need him in a spot, treat him maybe in a very opener closer.
It keeps your oppositions on their toes a little bit. Like, Eovaldi's in the bullpen for some reason. He's scheduled to pitch on Wednesday, but
exactly,
he's just sitting in there. And then you see him starting to loosen up a bit.
The Hector Velasquez role of the 3-4 inning mix, I think you could do something very interesting where if you had an opener come in, Eovaldi could come in and pitch 3-4 innings and maybe be available 3 days after, and you could use him as a bullpen arm here and there.
I mean, is it Eovaldi telling Dombrowski and Cora, hey, you paid me as a starter?
I think Eovaldi would be down.
Starter.
I personally
But it feels like he's a workhorse and is willing to do anything they want. But I don't. Maybe Cora just really thinks the idea of having Sale, Price, Eovaldi, Porcello, and Erod is your 5, and that's what we're going to roll with. It creates a lot of
confusion. I understand everyone wants that starting 5, but
it looked great on paper. But right now, you're what, 7-8 games back, whatever it is.
You need
You're fighting to get you're fighting to land that second wild card spot.
You're running out of bullets in the bullpen every single day. You see them going.
It's a matter of time before you burn out Matt Barnes.
Just imagine right now if Matt Barnes went on the DL.
Yeah, what do you have?
Imagine.
Yeah.
You legitimately, people would be like, I'm not watching a Red Sox game for 10 days.
You're going to need Sale and Price to throw a complete game.
Brandon Workman would be your closer.
Yep.
Can you imagine that?
Yep. And Brazier's your eighth inning guy.
Oh, my God. Oh, I can't. I don't even want to think about that idea. I think the Red Sox are going to have to get creative here. If even I'd use that Evaldi idea to get you to the trade deadline. Say he comes back July 1st, and I think that's being hopeful. You get to the trade, July 31st, and then you go from there.
You got to do something. I think they will do something. I think they will add a piece.
They don't have a choice. I'm expecting a big signing in Darwinzon Hernandez joining the bullpen. That'd be my guess for the stretch.
So a big trade acquisition?
Yeah, Will Smith. I'm going to stick to that.
You're going to stick with Will Smith? All right.
Yes. In other news, our former closer, we hinted at a couple minutes ago, Craig Kimbrell.
Going to Chicago.
Yes, signed a multi-year deal with the Chicago Cubs. Listen, good job on the Cubs. Right move.
It's a good deal, yeah.
And honestly, a lot of people don't realize, so everyone complained that the Cubs couldn't get a reliever during the offseason. They didn't have the money. Ben Zobrist, a lot of people don't know who don't follow the Cubs, but since, I believe, April, he's been on the... I can't remember the name of the list. When something's going on with your family.
It's the...
Not paternity. That's pregnancy.
I forgot. There's...
Whatever
I know what it's called in the NFL, but I don't know what it's called in the MLB.
He's getting a divorce from his wife, and it's very taxing. He can't play baseball, it seems, right now. They don't know if he's ever coming back. And they've saved $2 million from his contract.
So they used that to stay under the luxury tax, and
now they have Craig Kimbrell joining the team. I think he's going to be lights out for them. He's dominated the NL Central throughout his entire career. So bring him in. I thought he was going to the Braves. I think this is just as good of a fit, if I'm being real with you.
Yeah, me too. It seems like the Braves had more interest in
Dallas Keuchel. Yeah, he ended up going over there, and I think it's a solid move. I've said it all year. The reason I didn't believe in the Braves early in the season was their pitching. I was very worried about their bullpen and their rotation. The bullpen still needs help.
Yeah.
But their starting rotation...
You throw in Keuchel.
Soroka's been amazing. He is filthy.
And Keuchel's only a one-year deal, so if he sucks,
it's whatever.
Are you going to worry about him this year?
I think he said, so Keuchel's starting, or he started this past weekend, or he was supposed to, I believe.
He's supposed to.
There was talk about it. They're saying he should be up in the majors within the next couple of weeks. I think that's a little...
Probably closer to a month.
Yeah, I think July 1st is probably a good day to expect him back. Something like that. And he'll be a good veteran presence for this team. And I know some people, now they're starting to talk about, the Braves going out to get another arm. I don't think that's that. They'll trade for a reliever, and the Red Sox are going to have to compete because they got assets.
And the Red Sox, the Red Sox, Braves, a lot of teams. Again, with adding the second wild card team, there's a lot of buyers at the trade deadline. There's a lot more teams than in the old baseball where there's only one wild card where you're like, most of the teams are going to be sellers. A lot of teams have an opportunity to land that second wild card, and they're going to take advantage. Look at Pittsburgh last year when they acquired Chris Archer. I think they were 5 games back, but they were still buyers.
Yeah, no. And I think ultimately Mike Soroka has, he's not a velocity guy. As the ace of that staff, he's kind of being talked about as the next Maddox. I think Dallas Keuchel will be a great mentor for him as well. Very similar pitchers in terms of brain over stuff. You know what I mean?
Are you surprised the Yankees didn't pull the trigger for him?
Did you see what came out today about Domingo?
On the IL.
There we go. That he was the reason they didn't trade for Dallas Keuchel.
I'm not totally buying that. I think they're waiting out.
I do too. They're going to go for a bigger arm.
I think they like that kid a lot.
No,
he's pitched well.
He has ability. It's a shame he waited 3 starts to tell them he had a hip injury.
Yes.
It's unfortunate timing. We're going to be talking about Madison Bumgarner and his trade. You know what? Let's talk it now. We'll go to the other situation after. But the Yankees, rumors came out. They're showing interest in Marcus Stroman and Madison Bumgarner.
Yes.
If you were to put a guess, do you think Stroman or Bumgarner?
You're going to go Stroman, so I'm going to go Bumgarner because I just don't think...
Bumgarner with no beard?
Bumgarner with no beard.
That's
well, they told
weird.
Keuchel would be no beard too. So I just think Stroman in division, I don't know if Toronto would necessarily do it.
I think Toronto, where they are right now, they know
they got nothing to lose at this point.
They're pretty deep into a rebuild. They're going to have to commit. They got Vlad Guerrero, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I think Marcus Stroman, I don't think that fan base, or not the fan base, but ownership has really ever loved him. They've never really defended him in a lot of the situations he's dealt with over the years.
Stroman's pitched well. When he's on.
Yes. Yeah. Out of Duke, he's as electric as anybody on the mound. And he's had his up and downs.
Like the fit with the Yankees?
Yeah. I think he goes there. I think he fits that young core. can you imagine Stroman with Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres? You know what I mean?
If Severino can get healthy, that's a good one too. And then you have Tanaka.
Severino and Stroman years to come.
Yeah, that's a good future.
That's pretty. That's nice there. You know,
Bumgarner's a little bit older.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're a betting man, the Yankees have seemed to look at guys with more availability, a lot of younger guys coming into their peak. And obviously, Bumgarner seems to be past it. I mean, Bumgarner can still pitch.
Yeah, and they got some guys, J.A. Happ's older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have Paxton there. He's another, not young, but, not old guy. So they're building for a consistent window here. I think Stroman just fits the brand. I truly do.
And how many years of control does Stroman have?
That's a very good question. He's been up for a couple of years now.
Free agent in 2021.
Yeah, so a couple of years, 2 years.
So you get 2.5.
I think that's pretty fair, in all honesty. It's going to be more expensive than Madison Bumgarner, who this is his last year. But the Yankees have the tools to make a trade. They kind of have a jam log in a lot of ways up on that major league level, especially with a lot of the guys they've had come up and perform,
I agree.
So, involving Madison Bumgarner. You see that Max Muncy situation yesterday?
I did, yes.
Oh, my God.
Ball was hitting the ocean.
Oh, Max Muncy, he hit a bomb all the way out of the Giants ballpark. Brophy, you got to watch this. This stuff is ridiculous. So, he tees off. Madison Bumgarner, throughout his career, is known. He's gotten fights with Puig. He hates anyone who flexes on him.
Yep.
And I'm all for bat flips, personally. I know you are, too.
I like bat flips, yeah.
Madison Bumgarner starts walking up to him because Muncy went and watched it. And I don't blame him. I'd watch it. So when he hit it,
there's a verbal exchange.
Yes, he walked and then started jogging. He didn't sit there. He didn't just watch. He jogged.
Yes.
And Bumgarner, as he got to first base, started talking all this trash. And Muncy with the quote, I think it's in that article, Brophy, if you can pull it up for me real quick.
I'm looking.
Thank you. MLB.com or no, CBS Sports. Let me see. He yelled at me. He said, "Don't wash the ball, you run." I just responded back, "If you don't want me to wash the ball, you can go get it out of the ocean."
Yes.
Boom. God damn.
Sauce.
God damn.
Sauce.
What do you even say to that? It's true.
Got roasted.
True. Yeah.
That's true. And, Bumgarner's not a guy who's taken too many L's in his career.
3-time World Series
You know what I mean?
champion.
He's known as clutch. Don't mess with me. Oh,
best postseason pitcher in the last 10 years.
Easily.
Yeah, it's just, listen, Bumgarner, you can't be this way forever, man. Just accept it. You got beat. It is what it is. I'd watch the ball just like
Max
that.
Muncy? He slowly had 35 home runs last year. Yeah.
He was insane the first half of last year, and then he slowed down. He's a solid ball player. You know what I mean? Good. It's just, I hate the
this
idea.
Dodgers team, huh? They're interesting.
Oh, they're good. They're really good. I think they're the only, I think them and the Cubs, it'll be between them to see who gets. I think the Dodgers, some days I like the Dodgers more than the Cubs.
They can't afford any more heartbreak.
No, they can't. It's back-to-back years, the L's they've taken. It's not easy. But I think right now, so the bat flip situation with, Madison Bumgarner, and just overall in the MLB, I'm starting to get scared. I think it's going to evolve and get worse and worse this year.
What do you mean?
I think as the bat flips get crazier, as things get more important.
Could throw it in the freaking air.
You're going to see more of these moments where pitchers, they're just not having it.
Good. Beam them next to bat.
I hate the unwritten rules. I'm just like
Ben
you.
gets it.
I'm just sick of the talk. I'm sick of hearing people cry about it. Just let the bat flip and shut your mouth.
Let the entertainment value, let the drama start. I just hit a 450 home run off you, and you're going to talk to me? Well, do something about it next to bat.
You got something?
Yeah, strike me out. Do something. Let there become rivalries. Let there become drama. Red Sox,
it's
Yankees.
What's lacking from baseball these days.
Sports don't matter if there isn't drama. People just don't care.
No.
So you've got to allow this NFL with celebrations, the bat flip, same thing.
Yeah.
Again, Red Sox, Yankees, whether it was the early 2000s, Celtics, Lakers in the mid 80s. You need that opposing force.
They need to hate you.
The MLB really doesn't have many rivalries.
No.
The Red Sox, Yankees.
It's
all
not
about
what
the
it
past.
was.
It's not about what it was. I mean,
the best rivalry in sports, as they call it on
Joe
NESN.
Kelly tried to...
Dead.
It was there for a little bit.
It was there for a bit. Joe Kelly, and then there was the Red Sox Orioles a little bit with the Machado crap.
Remember the Tampa Bay? It was like that for a couple years in that 2013 time,
We all played sports growing up. Do we all hate opposing players?
Oh.
We all hate that kid?
George's. So I played majors. This is when I was 12, 13,
Okay,
whatever.
right.
There was a 6-team league in Brockton. George's won the championship every single year. By far, they were just better than everyone. Yep. They were like the Yankees. And I played on Mutual, which was the worst team in the league. Oh, they bodied us year after year. I hated them.
I've even developed a coaching rivalry. So
yes.
What?
Go.
One of this. All right, so I'm in an 8-team league now. Last year it was 4.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, we're in 8 teams now,
Holy
right?
crap.
Expansions.
Expansions, right?
Somerset's you guys.
It's 4 towns. It's
Is it?
Somerset, Berkeley, this town Freetown, and this town Dayton. So
Brockton's
I don't
closing
coach.
league,
I don't
so
coach in Somerset.
good for
I
y'all.
told Somerset to bleep himself. I'm in Berkeley.
Yeah.
So I'm in Berkeley now.
Nice.
So big deal. So there's 2 teams in Berkeley. Well, I'm the Berkeley Cubs, and this other team is the Berkeley Blue Jays.
Do you have like actual Cub jerseys? Like,
Yes,
that's
they're fire
sick,
jerseys.
bro.
I will
That's
show you on the
so
break.
sick.
So the manager of the Cubs, the manager of the Blue Jays he's our age.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you'd think manager of baseball is a little bit older. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd be the youngest one, but no, he's my age, and his team won the freaking championship last year. We got into a few arguments, some verbal altercations.
There was almost an ejection, if I recall.
Yeah, almost ejection of one of my assistants. Like, we got into it. Like, he would try to bend the rules on me. I tried to bend the rules on him. Like, I talked to him. He talked to me. Like, we don't like each other. We play each other Friday, actually.
This
so
is amazing.
That'll be fun.
We'll have to have an update on the next
Yeah,
episode. of
we'll
Pombo
let you know.
Milliken.
So his team right now, they're 5-0, and we're 1-2-1. So we're gonna kick their ass.
Support. What are you
Coming
guys
for
called?
you. With the Cubs.
What's the other?
Wasn't
there something before?
Berkeley.
We're the Berkeley
Cubs. There we
Berkeley
go.
Cubs,
That's
yes.
a nice ring to it.
What is it? Is it blue and red?
Oh, we got.
I don't know if this is it.
What is he looking
These
at?
children look too big.
Yes, they do.
You're like 10, 11, 12, right?
No, it's 12 through 15.
Oh,
that's not
These
it.
are my jerseys. Look at my jerseys, Tyler.
Those are sick.
Those are
fresh.
rad.
I always wanted to play in a league that
Yep,
had jerseys
fresh
like
jerseys.
that. We had like sponsor jerseys. You know what I mean?
No, we don't have
That
that.
kind of trash.
So it's like it's a 4-town team league, so it's kind of cool. So you get to travel in spots, and
Yeah.
it's nice.
No, I like that. Support Jason Pombo. Go
Support
see
the
how,
cause.
where can they catch the game, Jason? You want to come
Tonight we're in Berkeley. We're the home turf tonight.
Oh,
We're playing the Dayton Tigers.
you packing the house?
out? Dayton Tigers.
Hey,
Max
hey.
Cowell.
Yes.
We'll see him pull up.
Yes.
But
We tied the Mets on Friday.
okay. What's the record? 1-2-1.
1-2-1. It's all right.
We'll have a better update next
Getting
week.
there.
We're getting there.
Yesterday afternoon, you see the Nationals hit 4 home runs in a row.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time, or the last time was 2007 with the Red Sox, right?
I believe so.
I believe, yeah.
It was
That was. Oh, let me see if I can get it in the order.
Oh, you want to do it?
Ortiz,
Go.
Manny, JD Drew, Veritek.
Mm-mm.
Oh crap.
Ramirez, Lowell.
Ortiz wasn't in it.
No, I think it was Ramirez, Lowell, JD Drew, and Jason
Let me give you a
Veritek.
fun fact. That was a Sunday night game, and my dad was there.
Yankee State against the Red Sox, against the Yankees.
Yep. It was a
Against
Sunday
the Red
night
Sox.
game.
What am I saying?
Sunday night baseball.
Yeah. God, what was the call on Mike Lowell's home run? This one's all on its way to New Hampshire.
Jeez.
I think.
I think one of the
There
three
we
of
go.
those were
isn't it.
out
This
to
is
the
Cleveland.
monster, and then
It's like
this isn't it.
No, this is Uke, Manny, and Poppy, I believe. And the ACLS game 4? You remember that? Let me see. Yep, there it is. I think right here. Manny. All right, Manny went first.
Yeah,
So
I know
we got-
Veritek was last.
Yes, he was hitting righty. We have Manny's swing, man. Oh my god.
You could argue the best
I think that's the best swing
right-handed
I've
swing
ever
of all
seen.
time.
Yeah.
JD Drew was number 2.
Just flows.
God,
And you
JD
get
Drew
that
had
out
a
to
beautiful
center.
swing too. Putting Benny's swing to shame.
JD Drew.
Then we had Mike Lowell. It's Mike Lowell. Yeah, I miss Mike Lowell. I was a huge.
We
fan
all
of
miss
him.
Mike Lowell.
World Series
There's
MVP?
someone,
Yes.
there's someone in my hometown that looks exactly like Mike Lowell. Went through an entire interview before he said, "Yeah, I'm not Mike Lowell."
That's hilarious.
Dead set. Here, I'll pull up a picture.
Holy crap. Oh God. But I don't know. That's crazy. 4 home runs in a row.
Yeah.
We won't see that for a long time.
I mean,
It might be more common today.
Well, I was just going to
with all
say,
the home
with
runs.
the balls being
So much stuff has to
contaminated.
go right. So much stuff has to go
Yeah.
right. In other news, the other unwritten rule we have yet to talk about. So there was a minor league game. I forgot the details of the game, but it was the 9th inning. There were 1 out. 9th inning, 1 out. It was a no-hitter, and a guy dropped a bunt down and reached on the single and broke up the no-hitter.
What a horrible human being.
All right, listen. I feel like I'd do that if I was down to
Tyler
that
would
moment.
do it.
I would. Listen, I'll do anything to win. I promise you I will. I don't care what you think of me, because it was 3-1 or no, 3-0.
3-0.
If I drop that bunt down and one more guy gets a hit, we're 1 swing away from tying the game.
It's fair. Yeah.
I'm never giving up.
Yeah, if you have a chance of winning, this isn't it.
Oh, okay.
If you have a chance of winning, fine. Fair enough.
What if it's a perfect game?
If it's a perfect game.
I don't care.
Oh.
I'm a scumbag.
I was just curious.
scumbag.
Just curious.
What you gonna do?
Tyler's done with it.
Make a better play.
He's gonna make the play and get you out.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't want you to no hit me. So I don't know. Have you ever been no hit growing up?
I have no.
So my middle school team in 8th grade, I missed a game because I was suspended from school.
Why were you suspended?
No
Yeah,
comment.
you can't just.
No comment.
You can't just throw the
No
no
comment.
Come on, man.
No, it wasn't anything bad. I was accused of something. Accused of a fight. And basically, I missed the game. We got a perfect game thrown against us.
Wow.
So I came back for the next game, right?
So they obviously sucked because you weren't there.
It wasn't just because I like.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it was
If
probably,
I was
maybe
there-
not all, but
Yeah.
mostly.
99.
So
Yeah.
I missed that game. I missed another game, and I came back for the last game, and I was benched because I had gotten in trouble.
You're just too good.
Yes. Oh yeah, too good. And we got no hit. So we got a perfect game and a no hitter thrown against us in 1 year.
That's
a
very
rough
rare.
one.
Is it by the
In
same
3
pitcher?
games.
No, it was two different schools.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It was a rough.
I was gonna say
time.
that would have been cool.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. I don't know. Shout out South Middle School baseball team.
Yeah, I've never been no hit. Never had a perfect game.
It was a rough time. The kids who did end up doing it, they both went to go play college baseball.
Oh, okay. So,
like,
at least that's respectable.
Hey,
not that
there you
bad,
go.
right? Come on.
That's
I don't
respectable.
know. Tough times back in the playing days, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Jason, would you drop the bunt down? You got the courage? I don't care. I don't care what the other
I would
team
try to
thinks
get
of
a
me.
hit off him. I would want to, because
Did you bunt back in the day? Were you a
I
bunt
was
kind of
never
guy?
a great bunter.
No, I was okay.
I could steal some bags. but
I came in third place in a bunting competition at an all-star tournament.
Yeah?
Yes.
Nice.
It was because I had no
So
power.
for my team now that I coach, we don't let the kids bunt.
Really? Is it
That is my rule. Well, that is
Swing
my
away?
coaching rule. We swing away. Half these kids don't know how to freaking bunt anyway, and they're going
You're
to
asking
screw it
someone
up.
to break a finger. Oh,
And not even that. They can't lay it down a bunt. They can't lay it down.
No, land at their feet.
Ben, would you not drop the bunt?
Absolutely not. I mean, like,
you good
what
human.
is the score? The score was 3-0, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the bottom of the 9th, no outs.
Oh, it was no outs.
It was no outs.
Oh,
yeah.
that's even more interesting.
Bottom of the ninth.
That's definitely a reason.
So was he the leadoff guy?
Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah. So I might have, if it was no outs, bottom of the 9th, 3-0. Oh.
People are going to
Tell
hate
you
you.
Tell you what,
yeah,
when
people are gonna hate
if
you
I
forever.
Would, it'd be a run first. Let's say it was a walk.
Okay.
No outs.
You
I
wouldn't
think
do it.
the
with no one
leadoff
on?
guy. No, you're right. The leadoff guy should not have bunted.
No.
Oh, you guys are wimps. I dropped that slash right down the line. I'm going. I'm flying.
Hey, that
Full
was
speed.
God.
full disclosure. That was a great bunt.
Oh, it was a beautiful. The pitcher made a
textbook.
nice
Do
play
you think
too.
Yeah.
Do you think
flipped it.
you think you can execute that bunt like that?
No.
Hell no.
I
Yeah,
can't.
exactly. I can't either. Bunting's not as easy.
I think
as
I could get a bunt
bunting's
down.
not as easy as it looks.
Not against this kid, but like if it was us playing, I think I could get a bunt down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'd
Oh,
love
that-
to see Nate bunt. Can you imagine Nate dropping a bunt, hit him in
To
the
see
chin?
pick up a bat.
Dude, that pitcher laid it all on the line. Did you see it? He went for the dive after he threw it too. He picked it up with the glove and threw it with the glove.
The heartbreak I felt when Shannon Stewart broke up Kurt Schilling's no hitter. I will never feel
Oh,
bad
yeah.
for anybody
That
else.
was against Seattle.
Oakland.
Oakland.
You do
I knew
that
it was
every-
AL
you
West.
do that
I always
every
freaking
time.
did. He had it because you know what? I think he had an outing in Seattle where he almost threw it.
I think you're right. Yeah. Oh God. But did you see the benches cleared after that too?
I did.
God, I would have swung.
They were
out.
upset.
I think that's fair.
What was that, 01? No, that wasn't an 01.
Was Schilling?
Schilling 07.
07.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Bro, if it happened, I don't think I would have swung out if I was the guy who bunted. I would have been like, what do you want? You upset? Because no matter what, great. You win 3-0. You know what I mean? Congratulations. It takes all the air out of the game. All of it. It doesn't feel like a loss, but it kind of does. You know what I mean? Remember when Kurt Schilling lost that no-hitter?
From a pitching perspective, yeah.
It's just damn, that was my
It's
chance.
like I could have had it. I should have had
He'll
it.
think about that every day for probably the rest of his life.
Yeah.
God, too bad. Gotta do it. Whatever it takes for the win.
I guess so.
All right, we're gonna take a little break here. When we come back, we got some football stuff and then questions from everyone listening.
Yes.
So you're not gonna want to go
And some
anywhere.
Ben Brophy's hockey talk.
Hockey
Let's
talk.
go.
We got Game 7 coming up. All right, guys, we'll catch you on a few.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, Pombo and Milliken, we're back. So, what was it, 2-3 days ago now?
Yes.
Carson Wentz signed a 4-year extension with the Eagles.
A lot of money.
For $128 million. So this is already on top of the 2 years he still has a control. So the deal overall, including those years, is 6 years, $154 million.
Yeah.
I don't believe you were a fan of the deal.
Well, here's the thing. I like Carson Wentz a lot, but I don't think the timing was necessarily right. I didn't think he needed to do it right now. I think he could have waited till the end of the year. If he played well, he got him to the playoffs, then I would have did it. But you haven't seen this guy in the playoffs in the last 2 years. Injury history is a concern. His game is, he uses a lot of it on his legs. I know he's a pocket passer, but he does move around a lot.
He's very athletic.
Durability is a question. What if he gets hurt again? 3 injuries?
Let me put this in a different light, right? Okay, so Carson Wentz. Arguably, they're committed to him no matter what. Once they moved on from Nick Foles, they said this was the future.
Yep.
That's the real truth here. So if they wait even a year, say, a lot of people have Carson Wentz as an MVP candidate this year, right? If Carson Wentz goes and wins an MVP, his asking price skyrockets immediately.
So they think he's legit.
Yes.
They think he's legit.
They already doubled down moving on from Nick Foles. So here,
they're all in at this point.
They take 2 steps forward. Not only they're going to save money here. This is a very smart Eagles front office, one of the best in the entire league. They're saving money. They know they had to commit, so they just did it via years. And now there's a brand new situation for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, and you're creating a certain drama there.
Maybe, yeah. Because Dak's the next one. He's the next one.
You look at Carson Wentz just got extended. He missed another season for the most part.
Yep.
We know the playoff run. He didn't come through.
Yep.
Carson Wentz has looked great, but Dak Prescott has won more games during this period than Carson Wentz has. Dak Prescott has been more reliable.
Yep.
He hasn't been a better player, but he's been on the field more, and he's been more of a leader.
Won the division last
and he's
year.
known as a better leader than Carson Wentz, right? Now the Cowboys, they're looking a little funny. Dak's deal comes up sooner than Carson
Zeke
Wentz
wants
did.
to get paid too.
Now the Cowboys have to force their hand.
Yep.
And not only that, they've set a price.
So you really think the Eagles did that just to screw the Cowboys? Maybe.
I think it's some mind game stuff. I truthfully do.
Could be.
They had to commit to Carson Wentz because no matter what, these 2 years, if he got hurt, they weren't going to give up. They were going to keep going.
No, but it would have saved him a few bucks.
Yes, but if they truthfully believe, and they do believe in Carson Wentz, that's why they traded Nick Foles.
Yeah,
they just saved themselves money. That's the mindset.
If
it
Wentz
makes
goes
sense.
out and performs,
You know what I mean? This deal's going to look amazing because we know the QB market's about to take another jump.
It always goes up.
You know what I mean? It's no, you can't win against it. It's a constant up. And I think now Dak Prescott, you at least have to pay him this much. At least.
Yeah.
You arguably probably have to pay him more. Dak, I think, is going to take a little bit of a discount because he's not taking
Zeke's not taking a discount.
I think Dak will take a little bit of one, but now you've at least put him in this range.
Correct.
And now the Cowboys look, wow, there's not that much belief in Dak Prescott.
Jared Goff's another one coming up.
The Eagles believe more in Carson Wentz, who's dealt with injuries and has a huge injury.
Do you think they should pay Dak Prescott?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Do I think he's ever going to be as Carson Wentz or as good as Carson Wentz? No. But Dak Prescott has won a playoff game. Carson Wentz hasn't won a playoff game.
Very true.
It's a weird situation now.
Very true.
I think it's some very good mind games going on here.
I like it. I like the rivalry.
Yeah.
We're just talking rivalries.
That's a real rivalry.
We're just talking rivalries.
I'm liking the Eagles a lot going into next year.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So, in other news, the Texans, they fired their GM, Brian Gaine.
They did.
What do you think's next for the organization overall?
So, the Houston Texans, similar to the New York Jets, elected to fire their GM after pretty much the GM
raising some eyebrows.
Did the free agency, did the draft, this and that. I think it's a stupid decision.
A lot of people are unhappy with the Texans offseason.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people are. Could that be the reason? Maybe. But Houston's in an interesting situation because Coach Bill O'Brien, if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's gone.
He's as hot of a seat as you can be on going into a season. He's on.
Bill O'Brien is on it. So I think this says that the next GM will not be committed to Bill O'Brien. I think this pretty much
it's not his
could
guy.
be the nail in the coffin for Bill O'Brien, unless O'Brien brings them to the AFC Championship or at least the divisional round.
No super slow start like in years past. You don't have time to start the year 0-3.
Because the next GM will bring his own guy in.
No. If that happens again, Bill O'Brien won't finish the season.
Correct.
That's just the truth. And a lot of people look at the Texans, their O-line's still not very good. I don't know what Deshaun Watson's going to do.
Yeah, a lot of questions with Watson's health.
Yeah.
That's another thing. What are they going to do on defense here? J.J. Watt's another year older.
Window's closing.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins
you
dealt
lost
with insane
Tyrann
injuries
Mathieu.
last year.
Tyrann Mathieu lost in the
Chiefs
secondary.
now. Yeah. I don't know. For the Texans, I don't exactly love the direction this franchise is going.
No, I think the Colts are in a better situation to really
this is their division.
be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC South.
For a while, it's going to be their division. For the Jets, who we roasted, their dumpster fireness.
Yes. Still dumpster fire.
Yes. They hired Joe Douglas as the GM, known as a pretty high-rated scout, can really pick guys out with the Ravens for countless years for their Super Bowl back in 2000.
The Eagles.
Had done his whole thing over the years. And a lot of people had him as a connection. He was kind of the favorite for this job. I think it's a solid move. I don't think it's a huge move or a great move, but he's great at recognizing talent, and that's what the Jets need.
Again, back to the coaching thing. Does this guy like Adam Gase? Does he not?
It's Adam Gase's guy because they know each other. Yeah.
I know they know each other, but this guy didn't hire Gase. So
I get
Gase, I think, has ruffled some feathers early on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they both have that more of a new mindset, kind of fresh breath, different than past coaching.
This Jets season, I liked it a lot. I liked their off season, but
It's weird. Something's weird's going on in that front office ownership area. I don't know. I think the Jets. I think they'll be average this year.
Me too. I think they'll be 8-8-ish.
Tyreek Hill. So a lot of people haven't been really following this story since last month when it came out about with the phone call recording and everything that he had said. But at this point, there is no active case amongst law force against him.
Yep.
But the NFL
can still suspend him. Yes.
They have an investigation going on still. Tyreek Hill, at least for now, he's going to be at training camp next month. There hasn't been too many times they've held someone from training camp during these periods as they figure out these investigations. What do you think is going to go on with his situation this year?
I do think he's probably still going to get suspended.
Without a doubt.
So
the NFL knows that recording really shook some people up, as it should.
The NFL has to. They have their hands tied. Once there's a video, once there's any visual audio evidence, it
sticks.
Yeah,
it's going to be in your mind forever. And no matter what, it's going to be weird. And he's been separated from the child, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt back to football, it's going to hurt the Chiefs so much.
Exactly. I think... I don't know how many games he's going to get. I feel like it could be anywhere.
I think it's between 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Yeah, I hope it's 8. I hope they don't go lower than that. But
what do they do with Hunt?
He got 8 games, right? Well, and he got taken, so he was not indefinitely out, but they took him out for the end of the last season before that. Yep. Remember? So
it was 8?
I don't know. It was more than.
It was a 10.
He got,
ended up being 10.
when you look at how many games he got for this season, but you also got to count all the time he missed last year because they said that went into the decision. You know what I mean? Because it was week 6 or 7 last year.
So yeah, he was suspended 8 games going into this year.
Yeah,
but and he didn't play. He was suspended. He missed, I think, 12 games.
Yeah. So exactly. There we go. So that came out. That's about 20 games. I don't think they would never give an actual 20-game suspension. I think.
So they could maybe they didn't.
I'd say 12.
12.
I'm going to say
right?
12.
Yeah. In the middle.
Yeah, 12 sounds right to me. I think if Roger Goodell just comes down with the hammer, which maybe he looks at that organization, some of the stuff they've had.
Maybe he goes a year ban.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't think that's crazy, but the Chiefs are going to miss him a lot.
If they do 12, you have Hunt for the playoff run. That's scary.
Hill.
I mean, Hill for the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't really want to watch him. You know,
12's the number.
Yeah, the Chiefs need him if they're
they
going to be, back at where they were.
They lost Kareem Hunt. You can only rely on Travis Kelce, the tight end, so much.
And he gets banged up all the time. I don't know.
I'm not a Sammy Watkins guy.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be disappointed with the Chiefs this year. I think they're going to be a good team. They're just not going to be great. So Adam Schefter came out this week. Came out and said, don't expect the Patriots to trade for Kyle Rudolph. Didn't really stick out to me too much. Honestly, I didn't expect to trade at this point.
I've said that for a while now. The asking price is going to be a lot for Kyle Rudolph. They really like him a lot there. And I think they want to pair him with Irv Smith.
You look at all the situations they've had. It was kind of a really rocky relationship, as they were figuring out those extension talks, and they still worked through it.
Yeah.
That says something within itself,
They figured out.
Then we have... So the Patriots received their Super Bowl rings, went and did their thing.
Bling, bling.
We saw all the dancing. Dave Andrews doing his little move with his shirt unbuttoned.
Brady with the rings. Belichick with the rings.
Such a cool moment. And we saw
brothers
Gronk
together.
was there.
Gronk was there. The Super Bowl trophies screwed up.
God, it looked cool. What night was it? Was it a night of one of the Bruins games, right? Didn't they say they would have been at the game if it wasn't for the celebration? It
was Game 5?
Game 5, that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, cool moment.
That was the day that Edelman wore the jersey, the Bruins jersey.
Work on everything.
Mini camps.
Yeah. Jeez, I don't know. It's just cool. It's so weird at this point, thinking we're already thinking about another Super Bowl, and they're just celebrating now, and we're already like, wow.
6 is a lot. Once I didn't realize how big of a number 6 was until they were all lined up next to each other, and I was like, oh, this is some
Think about
big
how
stuff
many
here.
players in each sport never get a ring and are truly great players.
The great players. Look at
you know what I mean?
Any sport.
It's just
Marino, Chris Paul.
Well, to see something like this, there's a very good chance it never happens again. You know what I mean?
The best football dynasty ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You could argue the best sports history. Sports dynasty.
They'll never. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. I can't think of a better duo.
I know the 50s Yankees and I know the 80s Celtics.
Those were different times when sports were dominated with money and stuff like that. And very few. You know what I mean? Teams could dominate.
Talking about the salary cap era. You know how difficult it is to win the freaking salary cap.
Like back then, the Yankees could throw money wherever.
I'm not going to say it's easy to win one. You can get hot for a year, but then you have to deal with stuff like the Denver Broncos. But it's tough to win a dynasty. You could basically say they have 2 dynasties in one.
Exactly.
They won 3 out of 4 in the first one and 3 to 5 in the second.
Brady has 2 Hall of Fame careers if you split his career in
exactly.
half.
Yep. 100%.
During this whole period, there was a drought within the dynasty, and they still turned it out, so people don't even think of that drought.
You know what's the best part of all that?
What?
How many Hall of Fame offensive players are there outside of Brady?
God, no,
Edelman
you're
doesn't
right.
look like he's getting in. It's just going to be Gronk and Moss.
Yeah, no, that's really it.
Unless Edelman can squeak in.
Yeah. I don't know if Edelman
Even
should
the
be in
early
it.
years, it's hard. You know what I mean?
None of them got in.
No.
I mean, Patriots
For
Hall of Fame,
offensive?
they all got in, yeah,
No.
but just the
You look at
regular Hall of Fame,
recently, no. Yeah, there's
So that's
like
crazy.
the most you could really get excited about besides that Randy Moss Gronk was Deion Branch, but he was a good player. That was
was a
it.
good player.
Just a
Yeah.
good player.
I think Edelman was better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put Edelman. But none were that true. Like you had Randy Moss for a couple
that
years.
speaks volume of the talent surrounding him.
And
In
even
the salary cap era.
yeah, and even with his two best weapons, they were never the most dependable guys on the team.
Yeah, Moss was
You
in his
know?
later stages and Gronk was injury ridden.
Like that's still crazy to think. Tom Brady, man, truly the GOAT, huh? Did you see the XFL Summer Showcase thing?
I did. I was just reading the 7 Patriots.
Yes, yeah, this is your league, Jason
was,
Pombo.
Was Dylan there?
Oh my God! You didn't scroll to the bottom.
He's under running backs.
God, imagine
No, Dylan's a fullback.
Sorry, fullback, of course.
true legend. Any?
Casey's doing with the back pad.
Oh, I can picture it. Showing up. Where are we playing, guys? Like, come on, man.
We're gonna hit someone or what?
You gonna let me on the field? Oh my God, James Devlin. I feel like Dylan would look like James Devlin.
No,
like,
that's exactly what he'd look
Can't
like.
you
Yes.
picture it?
Dylan used to play. He played middle school. And they get a concussion. That was it.
Oh my God.
You know, times have changed. Dylan had like 10 years to rest his brain.
Yeah, the CTE. It's probably healed somewhat, right?
Probably.
Dylan's smarter than all of us at the same time.
Yeah,
so
he's
the
fine.
CTE
We'll
can't
fine.
really be
Well,
hurting.
MLN will broadcast the games.
Yes, every single game.
Yes.
Out of
We'll
this,
have Dylan Saraiva jerseys.
You gotta get them made up. It'd be great.
God. Out of this list of guys, any of them make you happy? Sterling Moore was my favorite.
Oh, he was. Yeah, the SWAT away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's played for the Cowboys. Coney Yale, he sucked with the
Oh
Patriots.
my
huh?
God.
They thought he'd be
Complete
something.
disaster. Anyone else? Anyone that made you excited? No.
I think that's pretty much exactly how the XFL is gonna go.
Yeah.
I want to see Johnny Manziel there.
I want to see that too.
Do you think he ends up there?
I got some breaking news, Tyler.
Go ahead.
Do we get the sounder?
We got the sounder.
yes, hit it, bro.
Breaking sports news on Pombo and Milliken, 91.5 WMLN.
Thank you, Jason, for spoiling that.
Nobody
Nice,
heard
bud.
that. Kevin Durant of the Golden State Warriors, according to Woj of ESPN, plans to play in Game 5
It's
tonight.
gonna be a fun night, dude. It's gonna be a very, very fun night. I can't wait for that game. One last thing. Do you see the Madden 20 stuff that came out?
Who's the cover athlete?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, it's Mahomes. Okay.
Madden 20 was
Yeah.
garbage this year, man.
Really?
I feel like Madden's the same freaking thing every year.
So the past
It is.
2 or 3 years they've had the same ticker, and this year they changed it. That was basically it.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you guys know, I play a lot of Madden, so
I like Madden.
Yeah,
I'm
me
a little
too.
bit of a
The
fiend.
last one I have is Brady in the cover. Is that the last one?
No.
newest one?
No.
Okay.
No, that was 18 because Gronk was 17, which is the one that I still have.
Is Antonio Brown 19?
Oh, maybe.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think that's right.
That sounds right. Yeah. I don't know. It's more of the mega catch Odell Beckham style game where you throw it up and they just make the crazy play.
I'll get mad.
So it's not
Yeah,
realistic.
and they made Patrick Mahomes a god. Like legitimately, you can have like D-line
he's
like,
OP as
right
hell.
on you. He
Yeah.
can dip out, and they put in his no like where his head's facing. You know the no look pass.
Oh, I hate
they
that.
put it in the game.
Damn.
Like, come on, dude. Like, really? You know what I mean?
They're ruining it.
What's your favorite sports video game? Is it Madden? I love 2K a lot.
Probably the show.
I like 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's Madden.
Is it
Madden?
I
Shell
go
and
through
Madden.
phases. I started playing NHL this
FIFA
weekend a
is
little bit.
underrated. I know you guys aren't
Dude.
soccer guys, but FIFA's
Shell.
fun.
Actually, I've heard FIFA's great,
FIFA's a
but
lot of-
Shell is my
FIFA's a good time.
dude.
I used to play FIFA a lot.
Shell back in the hockey
Shell.
days.
Oh god,
just
Shell.
sit down.
God.
Oh,
All the hockey kids called it that. I remember
Shell.
that in high school. That's some real
Shell.
hockey stuff right
It's like
there.
we call it 2K.
You guys don't like the
Shells.
show? You got
I like
you
I
have
like the show.
PlayStation?
Yeah, I have
no,
PlayStation.
I got Xbox.
Xbox. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're on the
PlayStation.
other end.
But I like the show, but it just
I played
takes
it
a
a couple
long
times.
time.
I play Diamond Dynasty. That's the way to
Okay,
go. It's
I used to have a baseball game.
Yeah.
I
So like if
can't
you're having
remember
a party,
year,
you're
but
having
I
people
loved
over,
it.
like you don't bring out the show, and you're like,
Hell
hey guys,
no.
let's play the show. I might as well just sleep here.
2K is
Yeah.
the perfect game.
2K is perfect game.
2K,
Yeah.
Shell,
FIFA.
Madden,
I've
and
gone in fights with my
FIFA.
friends at 2K, dude,
Yeah.
talking that trash.
2K is great.
Dylan Saraiva, 2K champion.
He was, yes. I witnessed.
If he doesn't go pro in football,
He has a show. I mean, he has a shirt. Yeah.
Oh, Dylan. All right, we gonna go into some questions here.
Let's do it.
Oh wait, no hockey minute,
Let's hit-
boys.
yeah.
Hockey minute.
Take over. Let's go. Run
All
it up.
right.
All right, bro.
So
Game
I
seven
just
coming up.
closed the article I had. That's
No.
awesome. No, that's cool. I can do without it. So Rask has been incredible. I mean,
I heard someone call Game 6 the Tuukka Rask game.
yeah, it was. He was insane. I mean, so far in elimination games, his stats are unreal. We're facing one, last night and tonight. So far in these playoffs, he's got a 938 save percentage. Now, I don't know if you guys know.
That's a lot. That's good. That's very good.
920 is usually like, oh, that's a solid goaltender. Like he makes all the stops he should and some he shouldn't. 938 is insane. He's got a 193 goals against average. I mean, these stats are almost exactly the same as the 2012-2013 or 2013-2014 seasons when we made that cup run. So
fell to the Blackhawks.
Yep, fell to the Blackhawks. He won the Vezina that year, if I remember correctly, or one of those two seasons. So he's having another top goaltender of the year type of season, and it's all happening in the playoffs. Also, Bruce Cassidy played him only 45 games this year, or started him only 45 games this year compared to the Claude Julien era, where he was sitting there playing 58, 67, 62 games, which is utterly ridiculous.
So they're saving him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If you go back and look at 2014, he only played 58 games, and that was his first year starting, I believe. Compared to 67 the next year. So it was another extra 10 games. So they started leaning on him heavily.
There was a ton of talk about just Bruce Cassidy and Tuukka Rask's relationship. A lot of people said Bruce Cassidy had something against him, at one point before the playoffs had started.
It's possible.
I think he was just tough on him. I think
he was too.
And he needed it. And Tuukka Rask was called the Clay Buchholz of the Bruins for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right. And the other thing that saved this team was having a decent backup goaltender in Halak, who's been, I don't want to say lights out, but as a backup goaltender, he's been great.
Great year.
Yeah. So he could rely on our backup a little more, which I think is part of the reason Tuukka had to play so many games beforehand. But that's not the storyline going into this game, especially coming out of this last game, too. Zdeno Chara is playing with a broken jaw.
Him writing the questions to the media was ridiculous before game 5 when he was doing that?
Yeah.
God, that's crazy, man.
I've seen people play, like Bergeron in 2011 played with a whole punctured lung,
broken
and a
leg.
couple other injuries too that were crazy, but a broken jaw, that is some toughness, and that's why he's the captain. That is some toughness I do not have.
That is so
not
ridiculous.
even close.
So the Bruins need to win Game 7 here. That's totally wasted. Nobody will remember.
What do you guys think happens?
I think seeing last night, the Bruins are the better team.
What were your guys' thought on the missed call? What was the missed call?
Oh, my gosh.
It should have been a tripping
It
call.
should have been a slew foot, a trip,
Whatever
which
it's
is
called,
basically he just skated while the other guy's back was to him and took his legs out from under him.
It's
Right in front of the ref.
Blatant right in front of the ref.
Yeah.
It was a bad call.
One of
Bad
the most
non-call.
ridiculous things. Every single person that is a fan of hockey said that was
It was similar
crap.
to put into football perspective, the Saints non-call.
Oh, okay. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. No, that's dead accurate. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I saw Bruce Cassidy went in on the refs after
Everybody
the game.
did.
Yeah.
Cam nearly threw a water bottle.
that was a great
I saw
video.
that video. Yeah. He took that. Someone said he should come throw some innings for the Red Sox.
So I think as long as Tuukka stays strong, which it's an elimination game, I think he will. And as long as the Bruins top line scores at least a goal or two, I think we got it.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a tight game.
I think it's going to be tight.
Jason Pombo.
Yeah. What do you think? What's
Looks
your
like
thoughts?
you're shaking your head a little over there. Non-believer.
Just when you think this Bruins team is getting on a run, what did they win? 7-2 in game
Game 2 or game 3.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "Oh, wrap, it's over."
Oh, I disagree
And the
with
Blues
that.
kind of came. I don't know here. I'm uneasy about this game. I think the Bruins are going to win, but I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be an overtime game.
Okay. I like that.
If this ends
win.
in
I like
overtime,
Bruins win 3-2.
I think.
You want me to?
I think it's a 1-goal game.
The game winner.
Despite empty netters.
The game winner will be Torrey Krug.
Ooh.
Torrey
Coming off that
Krug?
huge hit earlier.
I think
and
Torrey
everything?
Krug. I think it'll be.
Brad Marchand's about to set a record, isn't he? If he scores another goal or something like that.
I don't know.
You might be right.
Ridiculous. I mean, all the top scorers.
I have a feeling. I don't know. Torrey Krug.
He your boy?
Hey, I hope so.
I just have a feeling it's going to be Krug.
But it's going to be every single goal is going to be a garbage goal. There's not going to be too many pretty goals. Everyone's going to grind it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be an exciting game.
I'll take the Bruins. I'll go 4-3.
Or if they win, you going to the parade?
No.
Oh, I'll be there.
Listen. Sorry.
I'm undecided. It's got to depend. It depends on the day.
I won't fake it. I can't fake it. Like, I'll give you credit. You've definitely done your thing to learn more hockey. I'm learning listening to you guys talk right now. So I'm definitely not going to pull a Map or Net and pretend like I've been a fan. I'm sorry. That's not.
That's fair.
I can't do it. I can't.
That's fair. Depends what day it would be on, but we'll see.
Yeah. If I'm not working already,
I missed out on the Patriots one, but I was at the Sox one. Sox one was great.
All right, we got 5 minutes for questions.
With some questions. First one is from the California native, Matthew Burnett.
What's up, Bernie?
Which top star in the NFL do you expect to hold out during training camp, if any?
That's a very good question.
Zeke Elliott is mine.
You know what? I'm going to double down on that because of the Dak contract we had talked about earlier. I think he's going to be upset when Dak gets paid. I think Dak's contract's coming extremely soon. And I think there's going to be a very weird relationship.
I'm trying to think another person.
It's hard. It usually comes pretty out of left field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not an
right
easy
now it's
thing.
Jenkins from Philly.
Yeah,
He's another
that's
one.
been talked about a little bit recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Zeke.
Yeah, I like Zeke.
Big
I like
name. This is a question for you from Dylan.
Yep.
So, question for Tyler. With the Khabib versus Poirier
Yeah.
fight coming up in September, what does Poirier have to do in hopes of beating Khabib?
AKA P-head, as Conor McGregor called him. Listen. The only way Dustin takes down Khabib is if he knocks him out. That's legitimately it. Khabib's never lost, so he's not going to get... Khabib is too smart of a fighter to ever let that happen.
You think Khabib's going to lose or no?
No. I think Khabib's going to take him to the ground.
I'm with you.
Yeah, Dustin has decent ground game. You know, he's not great.
I don't know as much as you do, but just from watching the Khabib-McGregor fight...
He's a different level.
Khabib shocked the world.
He's a different level. Khabib is going to throw him around. He's going to ragdoll him. Ultimately, though, what this is going to lead into either way, so Tony Ferguson, who won over Donald Cerrone the other night, Tony should get the next title shot. It's going to all depend on what happens with Conor McGregor, unfortunately. But if Khabib somehow does lose... Tony likely gets an actual shot at the belt. Against Dustin, it would be Conor versus Khabib to see who gets another shot, but it's not going to happen. I still think Conor could skip Tony for another fight at the belt.
All right, so 2 more questions here. Another one from Dylan. Does LaMelo Ball have a future in the NBA?
I'm going to say yeah. Listen, he's more gifted than LiAngelo by a considerable rate.
LiAngelo sucks.
Yeah, he has a true ability to pass. He can really shoot from deep.
His father said the reason he... is because of his ankle and he sucked. I was like, no, he just sucks.
He's tall. LaMelo.
I can get ankle surgery and still suck.
LaMelo has like the Lonzo body type.
He might, yeah.
But he's a better shooter than Lonzo.
Yeah, he's got an interesting shot release, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. It's very
It's
like
the side, right? He's like,
it's kind of like
it's like
2
Sean
hands in front of
Marion,
your
it's
face
weird.
and you push up.
Yeah, I gotta see. I don't know. On this family, I have no idea.
I think he's going to go overseas, and I think it's going to be kind of a headache. So he can't play college basketball. But I think he's going to get a better deal wherever he ends up going. He'll actually have a little playing
I thought there was a
time.
rumor that he could go to Kansas. Well, I saw that. I don't know. There's a loophole or something like that.
If they found a way, that'd be crazy. My guess is, I know LeVar said he was going overseas when he was on Undisputed.
I know LeVar's done with UCLA. He's done with that program.
So my guess is LaMelo goes. They're going to try and do, the new go overseas and then get drafted. It's 1 year. They said LaMelo overseas for 1 year, and then him and LiAngelo will enter the draft again.
So LiAngelo's not going to get drafted again.
No.
He didn't get drafted last time. Why are you trying again?
It's sad. It really is sad.
God.
But that's the hope. I think
Just
LaMelo...
be an actor or something. Do something.
Yeah, I think LaMelo will get an opportunity. I don't know if he's ever going to stick in the league, but he has talent. It is there.
I guess we'll see. LiAngelo, it's a hell no.
No, hell no.
LaMelo,
hell no.
I'll consider. LiAngelo's a hell no. He's built like a football player.
He looked awful when he was playing at UCLA.
He sucked. He didn't even start. He was the 10th man.
It was legitimately...
His last name's Ball. His father donates half the money to that stupid school. Couldn't get on the court.
Lonzo got them all a scholarship. That's the truth.
Sucks.
They said if we take Lonzo Ball, we'll give LiAngelo and LaMelo each a full ride to play on the UCLA team.
He's lucky he got out of China.
No, you're 100% right. He could have been stuck there being tortured.
He could be in jail. All right, last question is from Nathaniel. I hope painting high school walls or whatever you're doing was fun. Thoughts on Yordan Alvarez? Will he be able to stay up in the big leagues for the foreseeable future, or is it just for a little while?
He got off to a hot start. He already hit his first career home run with the Astros, so he's definitely doing well. But yeah, I think he's around to stay. It's obviously a little bit of a weird spot right now with how good that Astros team is, but he's going to be a player to stick around for a while. There's a reason he has the prospect status that he does.
All right. I think that is all we have for questions.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into Pombo and Milliken. Just a heads up to everybody. So we're still figuring out some issues here at the station with uploading our show. When we do figure it out, the last 3 shows we've done, including this one, will be uploaded. So it's going to be a little bit, but we'll keep you posted on our Twitter. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.